Hello, good morning. Hi, everybody. Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com, Seattle Sports app, podcast, all of them everywhere, and 97.3 HD2, and, of course, YouTube. If you want to watch the show, you can see me. Different background today as I am over at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center, Seahawks facility. Why? You know, because Mike Macdonald is going to join us at 9:30 this morning to talk about their big win yesterday. It's a Thanksgiving week. Hopefully everybody's getting themselves ready to visit with family this week and eat a ton of great food and enjoy a couple days off at the end of the week and celebrate a Seahawks win, because we got another one yesterday back into the win column. Was it pretty? No, not really. Is it one that you're going to remember years from now? Probably not. I'll be surprised if you remember this win in a couple of months. I won't. I will have forgotten it. It's kind of a forgettable game. But you did what you had to do, right? You went down to Tennessee. The Titans are not very good. They've got a quarterback. They got a quarterback now. I mean, honestly, you want one big takeaway from the game, it probably has nothing to do with the Seahawks. Biggest takeaway, I'll spare you the surprise for 8:30. Cam Ward is awesome.
I think we were all a little surprised by that on our text thread. Like, oh, well.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. Look, some of this is on me because, as you know, I don't watch a ton of college football. So I hadn't really seen him since he was at Wazoo. Didn't really get to see him. I know he obviously got his game into a completely different place at Miami, became the #1 overall pick. But I don't know. I guess I always sort of thought he was a default #1 pick instead of a true one. Does that make sense? Like, there was no one else really available that year as the #1 pick for the Titans. So they were like, all right,
well, it wasn't
whatever.
Considered a strong quarterback class.
Yeah, like, all right, we'll take him because there's not really any other options. Man, I watched that kid play. He's great. All right, he was really good. He's a playmaker. He's a threat. I think I would give him the ultimate compliment, which is that he is scary to play against, at least as a fan. He was scary. So I really came away impressed with him. He looked like he could be the type of guy where if you put pieces around him, and they'll have to do that, he may really have something. So good on him. I thought that was probably my biggest thing that I took away from the game, was just being impressed with that dude. But other than that, you know what this game was? This is a chess match game. And I don't mean chess match in that it was like a battle of wits. Although I guess every game is to some extent. No, it wasn't that kind of a chess match. I'm not a big chess player. Maury, you don't strike me as a huge chess player. Lyle, I don't even know if you have ever played chess. But, when you play chess, right, you're constantly pushing your opponent into a worse and worse position, right? So it doesn't have to be like a blowout victory. It doesn't have to be an early kill shot. Sometimes in chess, it's constantly putting your opponent into a worse and worse position until eventually they are sort of out of moves. And I saw that as being very much the way yesterday's game went. The Seahawks weren't dominant. They didn't, completely blow out a team that was not at their equal. But they just kept putting the Titans into a worse and worse position until eventually they checkmated them at the end with the onside kick. You would love to see them put it away earlier. You would love to not see, 4 fourth down conversions on that final drive to just kind of, extend the agony a little bit. But they just kept putting them into a worse and worse position until eventually there was nothing left for the Titans to do, and they ended up losing. So good on them. Sometimes you just have to squeeze the life out of a team, and I thought that's what they did yesterday. They just ultimately squeezed the life out of a Titans team that just is not that good. Now, maybe there's something there in the future. I mean, we'll see. Sometimes bad teams, you can see a little bit that maybe they're building, and they got some guys on defense, obviously, and this kid Cam Ward looks legit, but I just felt like they squeezed the life out of him. Their defense just squeezes the life out of you. They just keep hitting you over and over again throughout the entire game. They don't give you a lot of space. They put you in bad downs and distances. And yeah, give credit to the kid because he escaped a ton of pressure. He is, if there's one thing that does concern me a little bit for this team, it's a guy like Cam Ward that can make a pass rusher miss and then do something smart with the ball after that. I do think that's a challenge for them. Baker Mayfield was a challenge for them. Cam Ward was a challenge. Like, I think that is probably, I don't want to call it kryptonite, but it does feel like a bit of a challenge that they will have to deal with. But, you know, I thought the defense did what it needed to do. And offensively, I mean, sort of a two-pronged story. One, it was nice to see the running game start to come alive again. I thought both running backs played well. Offensive line was good. But what are we doing, man? JSN. Maura, what are we doing? How is G right about this? Did anyone in the world, when G was, I don't think G meant it. I honestly, truly don't. I love the man. I don't think he truly meant and thought that JSN was actually the best wide receiver in the world.
When G started saying it, to be fair, he wasn't. There were better receivers in the league last year. But hey, maybe he knew something. We have to give him some credit. He said it. I got to give him some
credit. I can't say, I'm not going to crush him for that more, because I think what he was saying is, you know, he's going to be the best in the world. You just don't know it yet. And damned if he isn't right. Kid's the best in the world. He is the best in the world. The numbers are astounding. The plays are crazy. It's one after another. He's still not getting a ton of help from the other receivers around him. Rashid Shaheed has not really been a major factor in the passing game yet. Cooper Kupp is there and, you know, does a couple catches a game, but has not been a major factor in the passing game. The tight ends, you know, yeah, they're good. I mean, A.J. Barner's good. I really like what he does. But he is almost a one-man show, man. He is almost a one-man show. And every time Darnold throws to him, don't you feel like a crazy confidence that it is going to be completed and that good things are going to happen? Dude just broke DK Metcalf's record in 11 games. 11 games. He broke the franchise record set by DK Metcalf. 11. Wow. Like, that is truly astounding. And you know how I feel about wide receivers. I don't generally think that that's where you want to, you know, have your bread buttered. The cool thing about the Seahawks is, as good as JSN is, as good as JSN is, and as big a part of their offense as he's been, and as crazy as all the numbers are, I never get the sense that the Seahawks have built their offense around him. Does that make sense? I never feel like they have gone out of their way to say, all right, this guy is a star. How are we going to build around him in order to maximize him in the offense? I don't think they do that. I think they set out every week trying to run the ball, trying to hit explosive plays off of the play action and run game, and he just gets himself open. He doesn't need everything to be built around him. Obviously, he has an incredible trust factor with Sam Darnold. Obviously, there are plays that they want to get him the ball. But I don't get the sense that everything is built and designed for him to take advantage of it. See, I don't agree. 253 says, is JSN a product of just a mediocre offense? As good as he is, wouldn't you like it to be more equitable just from a risk perspective? No. I don't see it that way. I just think he's the guy who's open. And if he's open that often, keep giving him the ball.
I think they've played enough teams that know that's where the ball is going and can't stop it. That doesn't concern me. It does concern me that if he ever got hurt and had to miss a game or two, I think this offense would stall out.
It would certainly look different.
That's why I would like to see Rashid Shaheed get a little more involved, just so that there's some chemistry there. There's some options there.
I think that's very well said. And, as you're going through the most intriguing or most irreplaceable, obviously JSN is shooting up that list. But, hey, in the meantime, that was a go on the road business trip, do what you need to do in order to win the game, and that's exactly what we saw from the Seahawks yesterday. So good stuff. Mike Macdonald, of course, will join us at 9:30. We'll talk about this game throughout the morning. Interesting trade yesterday, Lyle, in the AL West. How will it affect the Mariners? We'll give you some details on that coming up and a whole lot more as we give you everything you need to know next.
It's the Hawks Player Spotlight.
Tight end A.J. Barner is with us. How are you, man?
Doing well. It's good to be on here.
Brought to you by Three Tree Roofing.
The rookie on this O-line, Gray Zabel, is with us.
Sam is an elite quarterback.
Going deep with a different Hawks player every day at 3:30 with Wyman and Bob on Seattle Sports.
Every time he walks into the huddle, we know we got a chance for a big play.
Nick Emanwari is with us.
I felt good physically going into the game.
Catch up on every Hawks Spotlight on Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even I added too much water to the pizza dough day?
Yep.
How about getting a call from my daughter to pick her up at the airport because her boyfriend is unreliable day?
Especially that day.
What about finding out that one of my pipes suddenly burst in my basement day?
Progressive has every day covered 24/7 with the Home and Auto Bundle. Also, you have a lot of bad days.
Oh no, that was all the same day.
At least you're covered with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Hey, it's Reese Davis. Let's be honest, you can't keep an eye on everything. Unless you've got Blink Outdoor 4 cameras. While you're focused on the game, Blink's keeping an eye on your home.
With up to 2-year battery life and with Sync Module XR, you can cover more space without constant maintenance. No wires, no worries. Blink helps keep an eye on what matters most. Get Blink today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Gonna let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
The best time of the year is here. Toyotathon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyotathon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyotathon, people. Come on.
O'Brien.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12. A new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, as Mike Macdonald is fond of saying, you want to go 1-0 each week in the NFL. And while this one in Tennessee yesterday, not as pretty as some of the blowouts we've seen, especially this year, it gets the job done. It was probably a little closer than it should have been. Punt return for a touchdown, 3 fourth-down conversions on that final Titans possession. That made sure of that. But the Seahawks, they did what they came there to do. Mike Macdonald afterwards knows a win is a win in this league.
Good win. You know, it's tough coming east. 10 a.m. game for our guys. You got to give the Titans a lot of credit. They played extremely hard. I mean, their quarterback played really well. He's a really hard guy to get on the ground and extended plays, and did a great job, especially on some of those 3rd and 4th downs. I mean, our guys were playing really hard there at the end, and I thought we showed a lot of maturity, working through all the things and how the game went. You know, you would have liked for us to be able to close the game out earlier, but you know they're fighting hard and they played hard and they returned the kick for a touchdown, and our guys showed a lot of resilience. Just keep playing.
Yeah, I think that's a good word for it, maturity. I don't know that that's a word I've necessarily used to describe this team yet. Not that they've been immature. I just haven't specifically thought of them as a mature football team. And I think I understand what he's saying there. Yeah, there are a couple penalties and a couple of, moments where maybe they're with backups in, got a little undisciplined. But I understand what Mike is saying there in terms of the maturity level. And the other team did play hard. They've not given up. They did not quit. They did show up yesterday and tried to get it done. The Seahawks, of course, did what they were trying to do. The passing game largely responsible offensively. Specifically, this guy, Jackson Smith-Njigba, 8 catches, 167 yards, 2 scores, including this one.
3rd down and 6. Slot to the near side. Smith-Njigba now comes over from left to right. 4-man rush. Darnold has time. Going to let it fly. Got a man, JSN. Makes the catch. Breaks the tackle. He's going to back into the end zone for a touchdown. Seahawks. 63 yards. Single coverage. You guys know better than that, Tennessee. A beautiful pass. Smith-Njigba catches it. DB falls down. A certain touchdown for the Hawks, and Seattle leads now 9-3.
Yeah, how about that? I mean, he just seems to combine a lot of the best things from other receivers that we've watched. Some of that body control of Tyler Lockett, some of the, ability to get off the ball and get off the line of scrimmage like Doug Baldwin. He's been remarkable, man. Just awesome to watch. Huge kudos to him. And afterwards, he had broken DK Metcalf's single-season record for the Seahawks in receiving yards. Pretty cool moment for the kid.
It means a lot. This organization, great organization, and great receivers have, came through here. So, honestly, I look at it as a team award, honestly, because, without Sam and without the protection, without Sheed and Coop, this doesn't happen. So I'm grateful, I'm thankful, blessed for my team, blessed to be a Seahawk.
Blessed indeed. All right. Now, Minnesota at home on Sunday. Vikings 4-7 after getting squashed by Green Bay yesterday. Rams dominated last night on Sunday night. They get to 9-2. Cowboys beat the Eagles. That's good news, I guess. Lions needed OT to beat the Giants. Steelers lose. The Ravens now lead that division. And the Raiders, they fired Chip Kelly after losing to Shedeur Sanders and the Browns yesterday. More on that later. Niners and Panthers will finish off the week tonight.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, Mariners tendered contracts to 31 players Friday. 7 were already under contract. 3 that were non-tender. That's Gregory Santos, Taylor Cicero, and Trent Thornton. So no real big surprises there. Santos, what an unbelievable disappointment. That has just never worked out. Kid's got all the stuff in the world and just doesn't have the command and just has been unable to stay healthy or put it together. Just kind of a bummer. You kind of hoped he would be stepping up into a setup man kind of a role. Thornton, Cicero, I think 2 dudes that everybody loves, but they just have a ceiling. And, those are just opportunities, I think, to get better and use that money a little bit more wisely. The other notable thing here, they did offer a contract to Randy Arozarena. I know that was expected. I don't think it's a huge bit of news, but I'll mention it because, he's going to make money, $16 to $18 million this year. It was not completely outside the realm of possibility that they looked at that and said, hey, we can spend that money better another way. I'm glad they did what they did. I would love to see them get more out of Randy this season. Meanwhile, kind of an interesting trade in the division. Rangers sending Marcus Semien to the Mets in exchange for outfielder Brandon Nimmo. Straight up 1-for-1 swap. Rangers also non-tendered Adolis Garcia. So, kind of some moves being made there to save money. Nimmo, 32, compared to Semien at 35. He's going to make more money over the next 5 years total, but the yearly salary is lower than that they would have paid. I think it's a decent deal for the Rangers, but we'll see if Nimmo can stay healthy while he's there.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
3-point weekend for the Kraken. They found a way to beat Pittsburgh in OT on Saturday. Brandon Montour doing the deed.
Gaudreau cuts across, lays it back. Here's Montour. He scores! Hey, what do you say? Brandon Montour wins it in overtime.
The sad organ music as soon as everything ended. So that was a nice win for them. Looked like they were maybe getting themselves on a roll, and then absolutely nothing doing yesterday. They go to Long Island, back end of a 2 games in 2 days, which is always tough. They don't score. They don't score in overtime. And whatever you do, don't watch this team try to participate in a shootout. They can't do it. They lose again in overtime, but they do get 1 point out of it. Huskies get 2 on the ground, 2 through the air from Damon Williams. Kudos to him. They beat UCLA at the Rose Bowl. They thumped the Bruins 48-14, improving now to 8-3 on the season. That is everything you need to know, and we do that every morning, of course, 1/4 every hour. How about that? Sad news, Jimmy Cliff passed away. Lyle, I'm sure you don't know who that is, but he is a reggae pioneer along with Bob Marley. I Can See Clearly Now, and If You Can Get It If You Really Want, and some other, classic reggae, early reggae songs. So RIP to Jimmy Cliff, who passed away either yesterday or early this morning. I'm not sure. Okay. Mike Macdonald later. Brock will be in at 7. We are going to talk through what's going on in Vegas, where poor Pete. I don't even really know what to say at this point. He's firing people left and right. His quarterback. Did you guys see what Geno Smith did? Ugh. Not a surprise, but also something you just can't do if you want to, play in the NFL long term. So we will discuss that a little bit later as well. If you missed anything, if you were busy this weekend, if you were traveling, if you were getting ready for a Thanksgiving week, Maura will take us through everything you may have missed next on Brock and Salk.
Bump and Stacy.
It feels important for the Seahawks to get some style points in a win on Sunday.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
This is the first game of the year where I think style points matter. Against the worst team in football, I'm looking for the run game to get going, the pass game to look good, and dominance on defense. Of course, I will take a win, but now you have higher expectations. I also think Sam needs a mental bounce-back game.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710. Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This college football moment is brought to you by Serve Pro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24th, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State. With 10 minutes left in the second quarter, Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Join the stations of Bonneville, Seattle, and Treehouse for the 37th year of Holiday Magic, helping provide holiday gifts and year-long support for the more than 6,000 youth and young adults in foster care statewide. Over the 37 years of Holiday Magic, we've delivered 182,000 gifts across our state. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476 to learn more. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III!
Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back?
back. If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, we roll along here on a Monday morning. Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports, of course, on 710, seattlesports.com. What is it more? It's not a Reaction Monday anymore. It's now a, help me out?
Well, it says in our log that it's Aftermath Monday now.
It's an Aftermath Monday. I kind of love that. It's an Aftermath Monday. We've had Reaction Mondays. We've had Fan Fridays, Football Fridays. An Aftermath Monday. This is the millennium of Aftermath. How about that? Aftermath Monday, which, of course, is presented and powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The aftermath for the Titans is that they continue to not be very good. The aftermath for the Seahawks is that they really are. And ultimately, that's got to be the takeaway from yesterday. That's what good teams do. You're not going to pummel every team in the NFL every week. You're just not. That's just not the reality of this league. Sometimes you will. And you saw the Rams do it last night, and we've seen the Seahawks do it 3 times this year. But when you play teams that are not as good as you are, you find a way to beat them. And you box them into a corner until you find a way to squeeze the life out of them. And I thought that's exactly what the Seahawks did yesterday. They weren't the only game in town, though. Maura, what did we miss this weekend?
So much.
So much.
Well, Aaron Rodgers did not end up playing through the fracture in his non-throwing hand. I enjoyed Dan Graziano of ESPN's thorough pregame report where he said, Aaron Rodgers arrived at Soldier Field about 20 minutes ago, walked 1 lap around the field, flipped off a couple of the cameras that were filming, and went back inside.
Oh, what a guy.
Used his right hand to flip the bird, so unclear if he could have done it with his left.
Oh.
Status for today's game still up in the air.
Not the only quarterback flipping people off yesterday. We'll get to that one in a little bit.
I feel like it happens actually kind of often. It's just usually opposing fans or what, The Bears did not run away with it, even though Mason Rudolph was in at quarterback for Pittsburgh. He threw an interception on his first series that the Bears capitalized on for a 7-0 lead, but DK Metcalf actually had a rushing touchdown, and TJ Watt strip-sacked Caleb Williams in the end zone for a touchdown. So they ended up taking a 21-17 lead into halftime, but the Bears defense only allowed the Steelers 1 touchdown in the second half. They forced 3 punts, a turnover on downs, and a fumble. Meanwhile, Caleb Williams hit DJ Moore for this 25-yard touchdown.
Turns this into a 3rd and manageable. Flags are down. Williams downfield. Open man. Touchdown. DJ Moore.
Williams finished with 239 yards and 3 touchdowns on the day. And then the Bears capped off a 9-play, 54-yard drive with a Kyle Monangai rushing touchdown. And Mason Rudolph's 4th and 6 pass attempt to DK Metcalf with 21 seconds left was incomplete. So the Bears win 31-28. They've only lost 1 game since dropping the first 2 of the season, going 8-1 in that time span. They're now 8-3 and in first place in the NFC North.
Isn't that crazy? And yet you watch them play, you never come away all that impressed, right? I mean, like I've never come away impressed with them. But sometimes there are teams that just find ways to win. And you never know, what they're going to, be when they get to the postseason. Is that a paper tiger where they just totally fold, right? Because they're not actually all that good and they've been kind of catching the breaks along the way? Or have they learned something and are they the most dangerous kind of team? I tend to think of them as dangerous. And they got the number 1 overall pick from a year or two ago at quarterback. They got a new coach that seems to be doing a better job with them. I'm impressed. I think the Bears, I'm not saying they're for real. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. But, if this will be the kiss of death, they'll probably lose their next 4 in a row. But I don't know. I'm not basing it so much on who they are as teams like that. I think I tend to believe in them a little bit.
Well, they'll have a big test this week, even though Philly's been a little up and down themselves. They are at Philly on Friday, so we get Black Friday football this year.
Nice. Good. We need it.
Yeah. And then Pittsburgh is 6-5 and tied with the Ravens for the AFC North lead. But the Ravens have that tiebreaker because they have a better division record. The Steelers host the Bills on Sunday.
Okay.
Let's see. The Chiefs-Colts was another big game this week. Chiefs offense got off to a slow start on Sunday with Mahomes throwing an interception in their first drive, and then they settled for field goals on their next 3. Daniel Jones threw touchdowns to Michael Pittman and Alec Ogletree to give Indy a 14-9 lead at the half. But the third quarter saw 2 Kansas City punts and a pair of field goals from the Colts to extend their lead to 20-9. But then a Kareem Hunt fumble recovered by the Colts early in the fourth quarter felt like it could really put the game out of reach. But somehow the Chiefs defense forced a 3-and-out. They pretty much locked the Colts down from there. The Chiefs scored a touchdown on a 2-yard Kareem Hunt run, got the 2-point conversion, and then 2 drives later, Harrison Butker tied it up with a 25-yard field goal to send it to overtime. The Colts got the ball first, but they went 3-and-out. I think they had a 3-and-1 they couldn't convert. Mahomes then hits Xavier Worthy for 31 yards.
It's a blitz. Stepping up and heaving it, and Worthy makes the catch. And they're in field goal range.
He had another deep one to Rashee Rice for 21 yards, and so only took a few rushes after that for Harrison Butker to get in line to make a 27-yard field goal for the 23-20 win. Daniel Jones finished with 181 yards to Mahomes' 352. He was asked post-game why he struggled more in the second half of this season.
I'm not sure. I think just plays here and there. We didn't execute as well as we should have, and some opportunities didn't take advantage of. So we'll go back and look at the tape and see where we could have been better.
There was a lot of speculation earlier this year about some of these resurgent quarterbacks and who was real and who wasn't. And I think Darnold was in that list for a lot of people, but it seems like maybe some of that magic for Daniel Jones has worn off.
Yeah, so let's take a quick look at both of these sides of the game. Let's start with the Colts, who lose. They're now 8-3, right? They were sort of the bells of the ball, but now they're 8-3. So they're, a good team. They're right in there among the top teams in the league.
They're still in first place in the AFC South.
They are. Jacksonville a game behind them. But if you want to take a moment and look at the standings and start, creeping across from wins to losses, percentages, the next 2 columns, I think, are pretty telling for the Colts. At home, they're 6-0. On the road, they're 2-3.
Wow.
And that, to me, is an old Indianapolis story, right? Get them away from that dome, and they are never the same team. And we haven't even gotten into December and January. So if you're the Colts, having a home field advantage in the playoffs is an enormous deal. It always has been for them. And so I just kind of look at that and say, all right, they're going to get a little bit of a bump at home. We'll see if they can pull some of that off on the road. And they've played one more home game so far than road games. So just something to watch
home
on that side
Sunday,
of it.
But they're facing the Texans, whose defense has been insanely good.
Yeah, and the Texans are right. Good. 6-5, right? They've been good enough. Yeah, I got a little watch on the Colts, and the Seahawks play them, December 14th, something like that? So a couple weeks from now, we will see the Colts. On the other side of it, everyone wants to just say the Chiefs are done because it's easy to just declare a team done. And I don't know. Look, they're probably not going to win the Super Bowl this year. But at 6-5, again, they're sort of the same story. 5-1 at home, 1-4 on the road. It's a team that if they were in a different division, I think they would have a much better record. You put them in the AFC North, and I think they're winning that division going away. That division's just been down this year. But the Broncos are good, the Chargers are good, and, the Raiders
are
stink.
okay. It's surprising to me that they're in second.
I mean, they got a really good quarterback, right? And they're a good coach. You have a good coach, a good quarterback. 7-4 becomes a possibility.
Really volatile.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I don't think the Chiefs are dead yet. I'm not.
No,
I'm
and
not
if they
convinced
sneak
they're
in, I
dead
don't think
yet.
they're a team anyone wants to face.
Yeah, no thanks.
All right, the Lions got into a shootout with the Jameis Winston-led Giants. Jameis was 18 for 36 for 366 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Goff was 28 for 42 for 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. But the difference was the 15 carries for 219 yards and 2 touchdowns from running back Jahmyr Gibbs, who also added 45 receiving yards and a touchdown through the air. He had an incredible day. This one went to OT, and who else but Jahmyr Gibbs would be the hero on the Lions' first play.
There's Gibbs on first down. Jahmyr Gibbs across midfield. One man to beat. Inside the 20, the 10. Touchdown on the first play from scrimmage. In overtime.
A 69-yard touchdown on the first play from scrimmage. The Giants did get down to the Detroit 29 on their drive, but Jameis was sacked on 4th down by Aiden Hutchinson to end the game. Lions win 34-27. They are 7-4 and in 3rd place in the NFC North right now. They host the 2nd place Packers on Thanksgiving, so that should be a good game. And then the Giants are now 2-10 at New England on Monday night.
I still think the Lions are one of the better teams in the NFC. They don't show it nearly as often as they should. If I were a Lions fan, I guess I would have some concern. I guess, I have a hard time believing that they've fallen that far from where they've been, and they just have a little bit of pedigree there that allows them to come back and win that game yesterday. They got a higher point differential than the Packers do, a higher point. Do you know what the Bears, just off the top of your head, what is the Bears' point differential this year? Remember we were talking about them a few minutes ago. Oh, well, I'll tell you this. The Lions are positive 83, okay? The Packers are plus 61. This, for context, the Seahawks are plus 107. What are the Bears?
Plus 50?
Negative 3.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy? So maybe I shouldn't buy too deeply into what they're selling. I don't know. But I think the Lions are going to be fine. And again, that is a team I absolutely would not want to face in the playoffs. Not at all. Not at all. Dangerous.
Well, you mentioned this earlier, and I know we're going to get into it a little deeper later, but Pete Carroll's Raiders,
oh boy,
now 2-9. They lost 24-10 to the Shedeur Sanders-led Browns yesterday. Geno Smith did throw for 285 yards, and he didn't have any picks, but they're so inefficient, and they ended up finally deciding to part ways with someone. So Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator, gets the axe. Q Myers, who's the game night host on ESPN, says there's so many things wrong right now. He questions whether Chip Kelly was the problem.
I don't really know how to evaluate Chip Kelly's offense because I haven't seen it really be able to be put to work, right? Because the offense, they've given up 20 sacks in 3 games. 20 sacks in 3 games. Like, who's going to survive there? Ashton Genty's not. Geno Smith's not. The offense isn't going to get clicking. So, like I said, there's so many problems that this team has, and this was a team that Pete Carroll thought was going to, win a lot of games. His words, not mine. I win 10 games every year. That's what I've always done. Well, they've only won 2, and they've been embarrassed more times than not. So this is why they're at the spot that they are right now with firing their offensive coordinator.
Well, I think those are all fair points, but at the same time, I mean, that falls under the purview of the offensive coordinator. They don't have enough talent on the offensive line, but I don't think it's as bad. It can't be as bad as it's looked so far. And I do think that has to come and roll up to somebody, and in this case, that's going to be Chip Kelly. But that's just the beginning of the problems, and this is why I am very concerned for Pete. As much as I love the man and have a tremendous amount of respect for him, it does feel like things are getting away from him. Not only does he fire Chip Kelly yesterday, just a couple of weeks after he fired his special teams coordinator as well, but then you have video from the sideline yesterday of Max Crosby yelling at players on the offense, and they're going back and forth. And then after the game, Geno Smith walking off, flipping off the home crowd, not the road, not the other team's fans. He's flipping off Raider fans.
Can you tell that was like a fan that posted that? I can't tell who he's flipping off. That's what they said.
I only know because it was of who sent it to me. Makes me think it was legit. I guess I don't know other than who sent it to me. But put all that together, Maura, and that is a really, really ugly story
and we
that is being written.
From at times being frustrated here that Pete Carroll does not want to move on from coordinators easily. There have been times where it was called for here in season, and it just never happened.
Well, I don't think he had a choice.
So that's what I'm saying. We know it's not a decision that he makes lightly.
No, very clearly. Very clearly. Yeah, I don't. Ugh.
Yeah.
Look, maybe a new coordinator will come in and change some things on that offense, and maybe Gino will have a little bit more success, and maybe they'll, start running the ball and using Ashton-Jeanty. But I'm very concerned about Pete being a one and done at this point. That would be such a crazy way for his career to come to an end. I mean, kind of similar to the way it began. Talk about a career arc. But that would be such a bummer. It really would.
Yeah.
It really would be a bummer.
Well, the Packers easily beat the Vikings 23-6. J.J. McCarthy's struggles continue, and the Seahawks have them coming up soon. He was 12 for 19
Sunday.
For 87 yards. I know. I can't imagine him against this defense right now because he looks lost. So 12 for 19 for 87 yards, 2 interceptions. Minnesota's 2 field goals came in the first half. Every Minnesota offensive drive of the second half ended in a punt or an interception.
Ugh.
Jordan Love was 14 for 21 for 139 yards, and the Packers racked up 146 rushing yards. They're now 7-3-1. The Vikings are 4-7 and in last place in the NFC North. And Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell, speaking about J.J. McCarthy's struggles post-game, he already notes that this week is going to be tough for them.
It's all about his preparation. It's all about, going back to work and understanding, hey, this is a new week, very, tough road trip ahead of us. We're going to need, a quarterback to have the best week of preparation out of anybody on our team. But then we also need all, the other phases of our team and the other guys in that huddle with them to do the same and just keep on staying the course. And when we find improvement, when we find consistent examples of it, let's not, be in a position where we're ever going to be a team that celebrates that short-term success. We're going to be a team that needs to just continue to press onward.
I can't imagine trying to get him ready for this defense.
So this is from a guy named Danny Heifetz, I guess, who hosts the Ringer Fantasy Football Show.
I've heard of him.
J.J. McCarthy now ranks 851 out of 852 in EPA per dropback among qualified passers since 2000 per True Media. The only player below McCarthy is Jamarcus Russell.
Yikes.
Now, I know that, JJ is part of his game is the leadership and the running around and this and that. And I will admit, I did get kind of suckered into the idea that he could be a pick for the Seahawks when they had a high pick that year and that maybe that should have been an option for them. But I probably should have trusted my blink scouting that Joel Klatt made fun of me so much for because he just doesn't throw like an NFL quarterback. There are certain skills. I don't believe that arm strength is the be-all, end-all in the NFL, but you have to be able to do certain things with the football. He never looked like an NFL thrower of the ball. And, if you're in Minnesota right now, next week you're going to show up here and in all likelihood, Sam Darnold, who you just let go for J.J. McCarthy, is going to beat your brains in.
Did you watch the Ohio State game?
No. I didn't, and I didn't need to. I know what my eyes showed me, Joel, and it is proving to be pretty true right now in the NFL. Now, I'm not going to take like a ton of credit or do a victory lap. I got suckered in after that, and I listened to him, and I listened to everybody, and I got very excited and would have loved it if they had drafted J.J. McCarthy. So this is not a victory lap for Salk, but should have trusted my instinct because what he's doing right now is not NFL quality, not even close. Yeah. Now, that being said, in 3 years, he'll probably be the best quarterback in the league.
I mean, that's the thing people keep pointing out. With what we're seeing now, you can't write anyone off, but
totally true.
He's got some immense struggles going on at the moment.
Yeah, and I think that those other guys, the Baker Mayfields, the Sam Darnolds, they had all the physical skills. I think the challenge with J.J. McCarthy is there's a real question as to whether or not he literally has the physical skills to do it.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how this game goes. I think this game could be the blowout that we were wondering if the Titans game was going to be.
Well, the one thing is that the defense is not bad in Minnesota.
No.
As bad as the offense is, and again, at 4-7, things are looking real ugly for them this year. But, they got a decent defense. They're not allowing a ton of points. Even Green Bay struggled to move the ball against them yesterday. So,
Green Bay's been kind of up and down, too. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
agreed.
see.
Yeah.
Well, the Ravens rolled to their 5th straight win with a 23-10 victory over the Tyrod Taylor-led Jets. They're doing it despite some surprisingly un-Lamar Jackson-like performances from Lamar Jackson recently. He was 13 for 23 for just 153 yards and no touchdown Sunday. According to ESPN, he's been held under 200 passing yards for 3 straight games for the first time in 5 years. He's also been held to just 10 and 11 rushing yards in the last 2 games. So it prompted people to ask if maybe some lingering injuries from the time he missed earlier this year are bothering him, but he didn't really want to. He shrugged that one off.
No, I don't think that at all. I feel like we just need to execute, a lot better. We get in great field position, but we're not putting points on the board. That have nothing to do with no injury. We just need to put points on the board right there.
Okay. Sounds good. Put points on the board. Pretty simple, more.
Oh, I know that's your guy. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, they have the tiebreaker over the Steelers, so they actually did take the lead in the division this weekend.
And don't you think that ultimately they will end up winning that division?
Yes.
Me too.
I do, yeah.
Me too.
Let's see. Division-wise, the Cardinals gave Jacksonville a fight yesterday, a week after they dominated the Chargers. Jacoby Brissett got sacked 6 times, but he still threw for 317 yards and a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence had 3 picks, but he did also add 3 touchdowns. He hit Parker Washington for a 25-yard pass in overtime. And a few plays later, Cam Little booted a 52-yard field goal that would be the game winner that the Cardinals could not answer. They had a shot, but couldn't do anything offensively. Jags win 27-24. They are 7-4 in second place in the AFC South, and they're at Tennessee Sunday. The Cardinals are 3-8, and they now head to Tampa this week.
Jonathan Gannon still employed?
He is still employed.
Still? See what this looks like in a couple of hours. I don't know how you continue to employ Jonathan Gannon. I just think that whole team is a train wreck. But I feel not strong. Well, yeah, getting to be fairly strongly. He's not going to make it through the season. We'll see if he makes it to Thanksgiving. I am not impressed with the Jonathan Gannon-led Cardinals this year. I know he was a little better last couple of years. Was it last year or 2 years ago? A little better than we thought he would be. I'm a little more impressed than I thought. But this was a much more the expectation with Jonathan Gannon. They still don't have a quarterback. Brissett is as we've talked about, serviceable backup who can come in, win you a few, lose you a few. He's lost the last 3. Kyler Murray is not the guy, and I can't believe people continue to get suckered in.
Yeah, it's still wild to me that there were people that liked them over the Seahawks before the season started.
Absurd.
Yeah.
With an O. Absurd.
Well, meanwhile, the Rams overwhelmed the Bucs, knocking Baker Mayfield out of the game with a sprained shoulder and taking a 31-7 lead by the half. Teddy Bridgewater took over, only putting up 62 yards. Matt Stafford had a pretty awesome day, 273 yards and 3 touchdowns, resulting in a 34-7 win for them. I don't know if that makes anyone feel any differently about the Seahawks game or kind of reinforces what you were thinking, like you were right in that game.
Yeah, 2 best teams in the conference, and they got you on that day. We'll see what happens the next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really feel that differently at all. How is Baker going to be okay?
He was in a sling the rest of the game. It looks like he probably could miss some time.
Oh, that's too bad. I love me some Baker. You know what that means, though? You know who has to now be the favorite to win the NFC South? The Carolina Panthers. They play tonight. They're 6-5, as are the Bucs, and they play the Niners tonight. They win that game and get to 7-5. We're going to be talking about the Panthers being a playoff team very quickly because the Falcons are 4-7. The Saints are 2-9.
They're waiting on an MRI on Baker.
Yeah. Now, remember, every team in that division has a negative point differential, so getting too excited about it is maybe not in your best interest. but at least worth noting that the Panthers at 6-5 may be one of the 3 or 4 toughest tests left on the schedule for the Seahawks, even if we didn't think that would be the case necessarily when the year began. All right, thank you, Maura. A great trip around the weekend. Something tells me we may hear about Titus's game a little bit as well. Sounds like they are moving on in their playoff hope, so when Brock comes in, we'll make sure to ask him about that. But the Seahawks found a way yesterday. Wasn't the prettiest game they've ever played, but it was enough to get a victory on the road against a Titans team that did, I don't know, I think a little bit more than we needed to. Did they prove anything yesterday? I think I got an answer to that next on Brock and Salk.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
Mariners strike first in free agency with the big signing.
I think it was emblematic of where the Mariners are, and I think that is a tribute to how much Josh loved it in Seattle. And again, when you create the right environment and when you win, you don't have to try as hard or spend as much in free agency.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
The best time of the year is here, Toyotathon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyotathon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyotathon, people. Come on.
O'Brien. If you've been waiting to try learning a new language with Babbel, now is the time. Black Friday has come early this year. Babbel's biggest sale is happening now. Unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription at our best price of the year, which means a small investment for all your big adventures. Babbel's bite-sized lessons fit easily into your daily routine and are easy to remember. Plus, Babbel teaches you relevant words and phrases so you can start speaking with confidence in as little as 3 weeks. And with a lifetime access to all of Babbel's languages, lessons, podcasts, and cultural insights, just imagine what you can do, or rather, where you could go. So if you've been putting off booking that pastry pilgrimage to France for fear of mispronouncing croissant, take advantage of Babbel's biggest sale of the season. Where will Babbel take you? Find out at Babbel.com. But hurry, this offer ends November 30th. Get Babbel's lifetime access for less for a limited time at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with 0 investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry and dream engagement ring to be nothing short of perfect, no matter the price. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Step into Seahawks game day at the Pro Shop, where the roar of the 12s begins. And official Seahawks gear is always within reach.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
This is the Pro Shop. Visit the official store of the Seattle Seahawks, located at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines and I was able to sleep through the night. And that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Hey, it's Reese Davis. Let's be honest, you can't keep an eye on everything unless you've got Blink Outdoor 4 cameras. While you're focused on the game, Blink's keeping an eye on your home.
With up to 2-year battery life and with Sync Module XR, you can cover more space without constant maintenance. No wires, no worries. Blink helps keep an eye on what matters most. Get Blink today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. I run payroll too.
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get his freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Well, it was a win, Brock. I think that's first and foremost the most important thing about yesterday. It was a win. Wasn't the prettiest win. Didn't have to be the prettiest win. I called it earlier kind of a chess match win where you just keep boxing the other team into a corner until eventually they don't really have anything else to do, and you declare checkmate and you walk off and you're happy that you've won the game. It wasn't the prettiest. That's okay. You asked me Friday. Good morning, by the way. Hi, Brock. How are
good
you?
morning. Good Monday morning of Thanksgiving week. Hope you enjoy your rest of your week.
I plan to, and
Yes.
I'm excited to hear a little bit more about Titus and his big win over the weekend. So we'll get to that. I promised this morning. But you asked me Friday if there was anything Sam Darnold or the Seahawks could do to prove anything against the Titans, and I said no, there is not. And a day later, I stand by it. There was not much they could do to really prove anything on Sunday. But instead of proving something, they just did what they needed to do. They went on the road without their best stuff, and they battled their way to a win. Good for them. That's kind of what they needed to do.
Yes, I mean the score was not really, to me, very indicative of that game at all. To me, that felt like a 2 to 3 score game, and I'm sure there were folks that had some shekels on it because the line was about 13 and a half. That was like, can you just tackle the guy on 4th down for crying out loud and win this game by 13 so I can push or whatever, those gamblers feel and believe in those moments. But, you were 2 scores better than that football team. You just were. And instead of, flopping around and turning it over and playing from behind, and you didn't. You played from the lead the entire game, and you outclassed them because you are better than them. You're more physical than them. Your defensive line, once again, for the 10th time in 11 games, made a quarterback's life miserable to play against, beat him up, hit him, harassed him. Canton was a warrior. I mean, he really impressed me yesterday, standing in there, and I know he impressed Mike and the rest of the guys of just a competitive will and grit. That was the only reason that game was within 2 scores at the end.
It's so funny, man. I did not expect coming out of that game that my number one takeaway would be Cam Ward is awesome.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming, but I was super duper impressed, man. I thought he was great. I thought he was dynamic. I thought he extended plays. He was frightening to play against, right? He didn't run to run. He ran to throw, but then he also ran. He was accurate enough. And, again, I think he'll get better as he gets, more accustomed to the NFL game. But it sure looks like they got a dude there, man. I was blown away by how good he
and then
was.
when you're 1-9 like they are, you're playing with absolutely nothing to lose. And this would be a chance to beat one of the best teams in the league. So you're going to get, against these teams, you're going to get their best shot because it would mean, especially for him, that organization, it would be a really amazing pelt on the wall or feather in the cap to beat these guys. And they didn't. And they didn't because you are that much better than them. Because
that
your
was not
receiver.
the Seahawks I'm sorry. I was going to say that wasn't their best effort, though, right? I mean, I think you got to say at the end of the game that it was a little sloppy, that they were inconsistent. They showed signs. The explosiveness I know you were about to get to there, and the competent running game was better, and defense had some moments of dominance, and obviously they just continue to make plays in the offensive backfield just constantly. But that's a sloppy, inconsistent game that's going to work against Tennessee. Might work next week against Atlanta, or against Minnesota, rather. Probably works against Atlanta. But you got to get that stuff out of your system, because that game they played yesterday does not work against the Rams. Does not work against the Colts, probably, or maybe even the Niners, and a couple of the good teams are going to play here down the stretch. You got to get that stuff out of your system, because you just can't be sloppy like that.
Yeah. I mean, the opening drive for Tennessee was a little scary, to be honest with you. You know, like they held the ball for, what did they say, the longest drive in the NFL that year? Like 11 minutes, right? And converted third downs and fourth down. And thankfully you held them to a field goal, but they took nearly the entire first quarter. So, Salk, you only ran 46 offensive plays. You realize that? You scored 30 points on 40 offensive plays. And that was with a bunch of operational penalties and a couple 3-and-outs that were a little uncharacteristic, but you still put 30 points on the board. I felt like you ran it the best you've run it all year. For sure. And yards per carry backed some of that up. There were lanes. There weren't holds. Every time, you saw a run sprung, I don't know about you, Salk, but I always look for that little yellow flag. Oh, there's a hold. Oh, that's coming back. Oh, that's a hold. Because it's so hard to run the ball in the NFL, but they created some chasms. And, Zach ran really well, and K9 ran really well. And obviously, we're how many minutes into the show? 5 minutes into the show, and didn't mention arguably the best player, certainly the best receiver in the NFL, and one of the very best players in all the NFL that got to put on a show for another audience.
Yeah, I spent a little time on Jackson at 6 o'clock. We're going to spend more time on him at 7:30 here for sure. We got a whole segment kind of dedicated to talking through what he's doing and what he's done so far, and for good reason. Dude's been unbelievable. Look, they're the better team. They did some things great yesterday. I think, operationally, mechanically, there were some issues clearly. Just kind of happens, right? I mean, you're on the road, you're coming off a big game against the those things are going to happen. Just get it out of your system. You're the better team, survive in advance, and then move on to, try to do that again next week against Minnesota, and then prepare yourself for the big games that are going to come here in December.
And it's all
That's
in front of
kind
you
of how
now.
I view it.
And it's all in front of you. I mean, you're 8-3 right now.
Yep.
Right. You're 8-3 with 6 games to go. With the Eagles losing yesterday, they are right there with you. And now the Rams, who you're going to face again, is 1 game up than everybody else. And man, did they look good last night. I don't know if that makes you feel. It shouldn't make you feel that much better, because a loss is a loss in the NFL. But I think, your eyes would tell you, yeah, that's the class of the NFC, and you went toe-to-toe with them. And had you not thrown away 4 times, you're sitting here at 9-2. But even with that, everything is in your destiny. Everything is in your control, right? If you end up beating them the second time around, you'll finish with the same conference record. You'll finish with the same divisional record. If you, they both run the table and you take care of business at hand, yeah, man, you're going to be right there still fighting for the number 1 seed in the NFC with 6 weeks to go.
My eyes didn't tell me any of that, unfortunately, last night, Brock. I would have liked to have. I got home, I put on the TV and was like, all right, let's watch the Rams and see what they look like. And found out very quickly that Fubo was having a bit of a disagreement with NBC Universal.
Fubo.
So instead of watching that game, I just turned the television back off and was like, forget it. Just going to do some work. I got nothing. So I have no idea. As far as I know, Rams didn't even win last night. I can't speak to any of that.
Your boy Baker got knocked out. Opposite shoulder looks kind of wrecked.
All I know is what Moore told me when we went around the weekend and a few minutes ago. So I can't speak to anything that the Rams did. I don't know that it's true. I can only take your word for it.
Did your eyes tell you that Cam Ward yesterday threw it 42 times?
Yes.
And according to PFF, was pressured 40 times?
That's crazy.
So,
that's pretty crazy.
Do you want one other little final? I know we'll do a whole slate of takeaways, and we'll ask Mike all about this, and we will rejoice, because you need to rejoice in any win in the NFL, especially when it puts you at 8-3. The dude dropped back 42 times, threw it 42 times. He dropped back more than that because he scrambled. But 42 passing attempts, and you pressured him 40 times.
I wonder what he would look like. I would just be fascinated to see what he looks like with protection and with a team around him.
Right.
I mean, maybe he would just get that much better. And you'd be like, oh, my God, this guy is like MVP kind of candidate. He looked like it yesterday. Or maybe some of what was so scary about him was caused by some of that, chaos around him, and maybe he functions really well in that.
Off schedule,
Yeah, I'd like to see what he looks like on schedule when that's an option.
Miami was pretty good on schedule. It's why he was the number one pick. And speaking of one other great number that also speaks volumes about that game yesterday, you know what Tennessee's running backs ran for yesterday? That would be 16 carries for 27 yards.
Yeah, I believe that.
So not only did you absolutely decimate them in their passing game pressure-wise, you also held their running backs to 1.4 yards a carry.
Yeah, you got a pretty good defense.
It's pretty good football.
And also, that's maybe not that surprising with Patrick O'Connell in there. His strength very clearly is in tight windows and near the box and not in space.
You mean his cement mixer head?
Yep, I think we saw some of that.
Absolutely blew up about 4
this is
plays.
how dumb I am, by the way. 206, you're absolutely right. You don't have Peacock? Come on, Salk. You know what I do? I didn't even think about it. Didn't even dawn on me that the game would be at Peacock.
Oh, I watched it on Peacock. Yeah, you could have.
Of course it was, and I do have Peacock. Didn't even run through my brain.
Oh my God.
That's how dumb I am. You're absolutely right. Yeah, of course it was on
All
Peacock.
these great takes week after week after week. That text toy falling in love with you.
Yeah, I know.
And then
You're right.
And then,
I
and
blew
then
it.
you do it with withdrawal of stupidity like
I
that.
know.
Congratulations.
I didn't even think about it. Didn't even run through my brain. Of course I could have. Guess the other part of it is I didn't care all that much. Like I was able to move on with my life without having that game on in the background while I was doing my work. All right, let's come back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know. If you even still trust me to do that, it's next on Brock and Salk.
Be the first to hear from Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald the morning after every game on the Mike Macdonald Show.
Good morning, Coach. How are you? This thing on? On and ready for you.
The morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
Being in front of the 12s is going to be a lot of fun. Trying to bring everybody together so we can push in the same direction.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com. It's the Mike Macdonald Show, only on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
Well, here we are just days away from Thanksgiving and all that good turkey and hopefully so much in your home with your family and friends to be thankful for. And if you or somebody on that wish list with Christmas right around the corner want the gift of fitness, then you got to go check out my friends at Top Fitness in their Black Friday sales event going on right now. I'm talking about saving some serious cash, up to $1,000 on Inspire gyms and treadmills and True treadmills. Plus, you can get free delivery and assembly on Precourt treadmills, ellipticals, and bikes. You can also save up to 50% on last year's display models. And those Olympic weight bars, they start at $50. And home gym attachments and accessories, well, they are great stocking stuffers. They, too, are 50% off starting at just $10. So what are you waiting for? It's no secret why everybody from personal trainers to pro athletes love my friends at Top Fitness. You can go visit them this week in Tukwila, Linwood, or Bellevue, or simply go to topfitness.com and see all of the amazing Black Friday sales going on right now. Top Fitness, your very best place for home fitness equipment.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bail Arm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bailarm.com today.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online. Plus, well, you get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices with no one battling for bandwidth. And for the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony. And you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6, 7, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians and Salish Cancer Center are excited to announce the 3rd annual Giving Hope Gala. You can help support the Giving Hope Gala December 13th at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center and raise money for the Patient Financial Assistance Fund. The Salish Cancer Center helps anyone battling cancer, and attending this incredible event supports that cause. For tickets, sponsorship, and additional information on the Giving Hope Gala, visit puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Mike Macdonald say, Brock, you got to go 1-0 each week in the NFL, and that's what the Seahawks did yesterday in Tennessee. Not pretty. Not pretty at all. Some of the blowouts have been a whole lot prettier, but it got the job done. Punt return for a touchdown, 3 fourth-down conversions, and that final Titans possession made sure that it was a little closer than maybe the play indicated. But Seahawks did what they came there to do, right? The passing game did what they needed to. Jackson Smith and Jigba, incredible. 8 catches, 167 yards, 2 scores, including this one.
2nd down and 3 at the Tennessee 13. Again, eye backs. Play fake this time to Walker. Sam throws. Got a man in the back of the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown! Seahawks! Man, what's that, 3 plays? JSN makes the catch in the back of the end zone from 13 out. A big score, his 2nd of the game. The Seahawks stretch their lead now 22-3, and that drive, they made it look easy.
I believe he had already broken the franchise record for receiving yards in a season at that point. He's done it, Brock, in 11 games. Just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of start to run out of superlatives. You know, we try each and every week with Coach Macdonald, and I think we've emptied that.
I've got a new I got a new tack today.
We'll do you really?
Oh, well, I mean, it's not going to go well, but I've got an idea.
But I'm glad, and you sent it in your notes, and I know we're going to talk more in depth about him here coming up in the next segment. It really, truly, genuinely, from a football perspective, is body control. And what is body control? Like, you hear that term, it is certainly a scouting term and everything else. What does that really mean? What does body control mean? It means, Salk, when you watch basketball and hockey and you just see those young kids that just move differently, that function differently, that bend differently, that are just never out of control, that can kind of contort their bodies and just like, what? How do you do that? And then how do you do it full speed? And then how do you have a hand-eye coordination that just tracks the ball differently than anybody that's trying to guard you? You throw all of it together, and he's over 1,300 yards, Lyle. I'm sorry to inform you that you did your math last night before adding on these 160 yards, because all he's got to do is do what he's done. 117 yards a game is where he's at right now. He does that for the next 6. He breaks the all-time record. It goes over 2,000 yards.
Just incredible. Well, he breaks the Seahawks record yesterday. Mike Macdonald, pretty impressed.
It's funny, we just told the team that he gave him the game ball, and I asked him what week it was, and everybody said it doesn't matter. So we got the right mentality, but happy for JSN. I mean, he's doing an incredible job, brings it every day, and he's a great teammate, which is awesome. So you're really happy for him.
It's also a really good day for both of the running backs. Walker and Charbonnet both ran the ball well. A couple of sacks, Murphy and Leonard Williams, and Derek Hall got his first of the year, which is weird. And even Patrick O'Connell came up and ended up with a sack. So there were a lot of guys playing, Brock, that you don't always see. The backups played well. They stepped up, as Mike Macdonald said after.
Well, yeah, it's the same message. I mean, it's a 70, and it's that feeling that we talk about throughout the year of, like, when guys have opportunities to go, you're excited to go see them play. Like, these guys have earned opportunities to play for us in critical games, and so I was excited to see these guys play. And so it's exciting. It's great. It's not like, oh shoot, so and so's out. It's like, oh great, okay, great. Like, let's go. Let's roll with Patty O. Let's go.
Yeah, we get a chance to see this guy instead. They got Minnesota at home on Sunday. Vikings 4-7. They got squashed by Green Bay yesterday. Brock, Rams were dominant on Sunday night. They get to 9-2. Cowboys beat the Eagles. Lions needed OT, but they still beat the Giants, who then fire their defensive coordinator. Steelers lose again. The Ravens are back in front of that division. Raiders have to fire Chip Kelly after losing to Shador and the Browns. And then Niners and Panthers tonight. Panthers win, and they're in first place in the NFC South.
Yep.
What a bizarre year, as always, in the NFL.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, so Mariners tendered contracts of 31 players. 3 guys were non-tendered. Gregory Santos, Taylor Cicero, and Trent Thornton. Probably no real surprises there.
No longer the great idea.
No, he's going to be the idea somewhere else. That just never worked out. It's too bad. Good stuff, big body, throws hard, but just, it did not work at all. Injuries and command issues and just a total mess. Also notable, not huge news, but Randy Arozarena was offered a contract, so they'll go to arbitration somewhere in the $16 to $18 million range. It was expected that he would be back, but I thought it was noteworthy that they would like to use that money on him rather than on something else. Mm-hmm. So, all right, there you go, Randy.
Well, I think, so we take for granted what all this means. Can you quickly explain in this need to know? So people probably go, what do you mean they offered contracts to all these guys are all under contract, right?
Yeah, just Google it.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, it's so complicated to try to
Well, I think it's pretty simple that for the first 6 years of their career, 6 years, you control their rights. First 3 years are locked in. The next 3 are all like, okay, if we want you, we go to an arbitrator. And so they basically said to 31 guys on the team, let's either we got you.
All the guys who are in years 4 through 6, you offer them a contract. They either say yes to that contract, or they say, no, I want to go to arbitration.
Yep.
And then the arbiter has to decide between your contract and theirs. Generally, they end up finding some sort of middle ground and agreeing on a deal. So, in division trade, Rangers sending Marcus Semien to the Mets for Brandon Nimmo. They also non-tendered Adolis Garcia, which means he is a free agent and available if you have any interest. Nimmo, 32 years old. Semien is 35.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Nice win for the Huskies, Brock. Damon Williams kind of did it all.
Washington, the tailback from Long Beach in the game. Fake to him. Here goes Williams, sprinting inside the 10. Touchdown, Washington.
Yeah, that was one of his 4. 2 on the ground, 2 through the air. They win at 48-14.
Yeah, old Coach Sanford likes to talk about the quit gene, Salk. You know, these can we find this team's quit gene?
Okay.
There are a lot of teams in college football that have just quit already. Guys in the portal, coach has been fired. Like, you know what? I'm good. I'm really, really good. And UCLA played with zero juice, especially when Nico, their QB, went down yet again with another injury that's happened multiple times this year.
No quitting the Kraken, Brock. They just aren't good at the shootout. 3-point weekend. They beat Pittsburgh.
They've lost every
OT
shootout this
Saturday.
year. Right?
Well, I'm surprised they've scored 1 goal in the shootout. They're awful. I don't know if anybody was watching yesterday. My new least favorite Kraken player this year has by far been Chandler Stevenson. Okay. He took what has to be the worst shootout attempt I've seen. He came down, slowed down, kind of lost the puck.
He's my Mitch Garver.
Brock,
he's my Abraham Toro.
Yeah, I mean, he's my Andre Burakovsky.
Do you guys realize that Morgan Geekie is tied for the most goals in the NHL right now?
Yes, he's unbelievable.
17.
It's shocking. This guy, Stevenson, go back and watch that shootout attempt. He should never be allowed to take a shootout.
It's so weird because you would think, just from afar, just surface hockey guy, like the top 5 talents, like you're drafted in the top 5, you're probably pretty good as a forward. You're probably pretty good with a stick. Shane Wright, Beniers, you should be able to score in a shootout situation where it's you and the goalie.
I don't ever want to watch Chandler Stevenson take a shootout attempt again after what we were forced to endure yesterday. That is everything you need to know.
They get a point.
Quarter past every hour.
They
did. Good for them. Quarter past every hour.
McCord was standing on his head all game through overtime. Shut out.
Would kind of like them to, get 2 points there. That would have been nice. A little 4-point weekend.
I can't watch them and not think they had Morgan Geekie.
I know.
They could use those points right now.
No kidding.
He's on their top line now. He was a 4th line guy here. In Boston, he's a top line. Yeah, it's just insane to me.
It's annoying. All right, let's move on. I'm going to move on. I can't think about Chandler Stevenson anymore this morning. I'm done. That's all the Chandler Stevenson energy I have for a little while, Brock. But I will do this. Instead of talking about people that drive us crazy, let's go the exact opposite direction. We have spent a tremendous amount of time on one of 2 stories, and we've barely scratched the surface of the other. It's next on Brock and Salk.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
Mariners strike first in free agency with the big signing. I think it was emblematic of where the Mariners are, and I think that is a tribute to how much Josh loved it in Seattle. And again, when you create the right environment and when you win, you don't have to try as hard or spend as much in free agency.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
All right, Mike Salk here. If you are waiting until the new year to make big changes in your life, you can, but don't put it off, honestly. Why wait a couple more months? Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is offering $300 off their plan. That's their biggest sale of the year, and it's a plan that you can do during the holidays. You can still enjoy your delicious meals on Thanksgiving and Christmas or New Year's. I personally did this plan myself. I lost 35 pounds in the span of 8 weeks. It could be you by the time next year starts. Get a leg up on those New Year's resolutioners, right? Start a plan now that works. Proven with over 4,000 people here locally. You've heard me talk about it for a while. You've heard others at the station. Listeners have texted in. Friend, family member maybe, because the plan works. It's simple, it's healthy, and now it is $300 off. You don't have to find the energy to go to the gym. No scary injections or pills. No way. Just healthy, fresh food, and a proven plan. Starts with just a 15-minute phone call. Schedule yours right now. Go to EastsideWeightLossClinic.com. That's EastsideWeightLossClinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
At Bank of America, we asked our people, how do you take ownership of your career?
I'm able to grow my way by putting the priorities that I have for my career first.
I thrive on being a leader who's behind the team, not in front of the team.
Every few years, I'm being re-energized because I get to do something different and learn something new.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, the new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple one-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
This year, make comfort the first gift during the Black Friday sale at Home Comfort Alliance. Through December 1st, call to get savings up to 75% off furnaces, air conditioners, backup generators, EV chargers, water heaters, and more. If your system's over 12 years old, upgrade now before it breaks and save. And remember to schedule your consultation before December 1st and save up to 75% and take 18 months to pay off 0% financing OAC. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com today.
The best time of the year is here. Toyotathon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyotathon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyotathon, people. Come on.
O'Brien.
Northeast Landscaping Services reminds listeners the holidays are meant to be a time of good cheer and warm gatherings with family and friends. Don't spoil the spirit of the season by getting behind the wheel after drinking. Always designate a sober driver or take a ride share for a safe ride home. Let's all work together to keep our roadways safe and accident-free this holiday season. Happy holidays to you and yours from the entire team at Northeast Landscaping Services, the family-owned landscaping experts for 30 years, online at northeastls.com.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We spent a lot of time, Brock, on one of these stories, but they really kind of went together, and we have not spent nearly as much time on the other. We spent a lot of time talking about the move from Geno Smith to Sam Darnold, and Geno with another tough day. What, there's 10 sacks in that game? I mean, like, that is a whopping number. What does Sam have on the year, 10 or 11?
He has 11 in 11 games.
He has 11 in 11 games. Gino had 10 yesterday. So, I mean, like, that is a remarkable number. I wouldn't say beaten the story to death because it's a huge story, but we've talked about it a lot. They're the quarterbacks. We have not spent, and we've spent a lot of time talking about JSN, but not nearly as much time talking about the move from DK to JSN because it has been nearly, if not as impactful as the quarterback change. This kid is unreal. He's not flashy. He doesn't do it with that freak show size speed combo that you sometimes see in the NFL. Not to say that he's not fast or not big, but he's not a freak show like that. It seems to me, at least from my, you mentioned some of it, Brock, technical wizardry, an amazing feel for the game. G, were you here when G was talking about the difference between speed and playing speed?
Yes, and I think Klatt kind of hammered that home too by taking an anvil to all the draft nicks about the 40 time and all of that.
He was saying the exact same thing. He hates the 40 time. He thinks it's the dumbest thing in the world. And JSN seems to be living proof on that. That guy plays fast, regardless of what his top end speed is, regardless of what he would run in the 40. He just plays fast. And I feel like we saw that again yesterday as he's just beating guys deep, no problem.
Salk, if I would have told you 11 games into the season, honestly, like with this pivot in this move, and I totally co-sign on everything you said, we have spent 90% of our oxygen on the quarterback and maybe 10% on this. But it, in many ways, I think was easier for JSN to take that mantle of being the number one guy because he's been the number one guy. He was the all-time leading record setter in the state of Texas out of high school football, like almost 6,000 yards receiving. Some mind-numbing, like, what? And then he went to Ohio State, and I don't know, you and I watched a Rose Bowl against Utah, and I know they were down a few guys. He could have had 32 receptions in that game, but set the all-time Rose Bowl game record with, 17 or 19, almost 300 yards receiving, like just silly, silly stuff. But look at this. He is sitting at 1,300 yards right now. Celebrated yesterday as the all-time, single season record. That was held by DK Metcalf. You know what DK is sitting with right now out in Pittsburgh?
As a matter of fact, I do. I got all of DK's numbers ready this morning, Brock, to have this conversation. I can tell you. JSN is 80 catches, 1,313 yards, and 7 touchdowns. DK is 42 catches, so just over half, for 573 yards, less than half, and 12 touchdowns. He has a couple more touchdowns. Been pretty good.
5 touchdowns. It's 5 touchdowns.
It is? Why don't I have 12? Well, then never mind. Even worse.
He's got 5 touchdowns.
Huh. Wonder what my 12 came from. Sorry about that. 5 touchdowns.
All right. 5 touchdowns.
Ugh.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes. So, can we give a little tip of the cap to the boys down there as well? I don't know, the Trent Kirschners and the John Schneiders and the people in the pro scouting and obviously John that's got to make that decision, as hard as it may be, as noisy as it may be on the outside. You're moving on from DK Metcalf. You're moving on from a star. You're moving on from one of the most talented players in the NFL. Like, yeah, actually we are, because we're not paying him $30 million a year too. And I don't know, do you watch all these $30 million receivers all around the NFL? I do. And you know what they all are? Pains in the butt. Largely, right? They read books, they throw their helmets, they scream at the quarterbacks when they don't get the ball, like CD Lamb, or, throw it out here, Dak, throw it out here. Like, no, actually catch it when it's in your belly and stop doing those antics and all that crap that comes oftentimes with those kind of contracts. And this team, and John in particular and his staff, had the wherewithal to say, yeah, we're not going to make moves dependent upon the emotion of the fans and the noise on the outside.
Well, I'm really glad they didn't. I think you know how I feel about paying wide receivers that kind of money. I think it is a fool's errand, and we'll see what ends up happening long term here with Jackson. Maybe he's a different enough personality that you can pull it off. I don't know. But he now has 1,313 yards. He's the record holder after just 11 games. Afterwards, cut 15 here. Mike Macdonald, more than happy to celebrate their difference maker yesterday.
This guy's the best receiver in the NFL. Talk about it. Set the Seahawks single season record for most yards. And what week is it? Love you guys. Let's continue to take it to the next level, man. That's what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. That's what we can do. Seahawks on 3, 1, 2, 3. Seahawks!
Was there a best in the world shouted in there? It sounded like one.
I think I heard a best in the world. Was
I
G in
feel
that
like-
locker room yesterday? Was G in that locker room yesterday?
In
or no?
Tennessee? That would surprise me. I don't think so. I feel like I heard a best in the world there, Brock. And obviously the rallying cry has made its way into the Seahawks locker room. And I don't see how anybody could disagree with it. And it's all of the things he does. You know, we talk about that playing speed thing. I love what you said earlier, Brock. But I kind of think about what allows somebody to have that playing speed as opposed to just flat end speed. So this may be long-winded. I'll try to do it quickly. And I understand that watching youth sports is very different from watching the NFL or anything else. But Cecily's team had a scrimmage yesterday against the 10U boys team. So they're 12U girls. These are 10U boys, but they play in an A team rather than a C team. So this was some pretty elite, 10-year high school, 10-year-old boys. And they're faster a little bit. I mean, like speed-wise, if they were to race up and down the rink, probably be pretty even. But those kids processed so quickly that it was all instinct. There was no thought about, okay, now I want to put it here, and now I want to flip the puck here, and now I want to pass it there. None of that sort of rote thought process that will slow you down. And because of it, they dominated. They win 7-0. It wasn't particularly close. And I found myself thinking as I watched that about JSN early in the day, that when everything is so instinctive for you, when your processing speed is so quick, and I get that, you're talking about minute differences at that level as opposed to the rote thinking that might occur at the age of 11. But when you take his feel, you take his comfort in the offense, you take his ability, and you mentioned his body control, which is just ridiculous. You see the dude that dominated in college and high school now doing it in the NFL. It's awesome. It's so fun to watch.
Yes, and you see even in the NFL level, and we make fun of it, right, that many of these DBs in the NFL were receivers that couldn't catch, right? that from a skill set standpoint, they're super twitched up, they're super fast, they've got length, they can run, but many of them just didn't have the finishing capabilities, maybe in high school, or maybe they went to college. We're like, you know what, man, my path, I'm going to be a corner. My path to the NFL and my opportunity, if I'm an elite guy here, is going to be as a corner. But most of them don't have what JSN has with ball skills. And he talked about that yesterday too. Like he can, and you can feel it. You can feel it as a receiver.
Yeah,
I could feel it as a quarterback throwing at some of these corners. Yeah. I mean, this was really, really good.
Sort of talking about boxing out, cut 17, and it's very clear. You see him do it. He's not the biggest guy, but the way he uses his body to shield defenders is just incredible.
I would say, I'm starting to notice it, more, I'm doing it a little bit more. But, yeah, just playing ball, going out there, playing ball, definitely notice it a little bit. But I wouldn't say something that I've done. But, any way to make a play, got to do it.
Yeah, he doesn't even really think about it. He's just boxing guys out and doesn't even – I'm sure it just comes – naturally, instinctual. I don't know what the right word is. Obviously, he works hard. I don't mean to say he's just born with all of this, but he does seem to have just a natural instinct to be able to use his body in ways that others don't.
So here's the question. His lower half, by the way, his legs are like Golden Tate strong. Seriously.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, how do you create that space? Because that's what it's about. The NFL is hard, man. The NFL is a phone booth. The NFL is not college. The NFL isn't high school. You don't have all these wide open pastures. You've got to create your own space. And how do these elite guys, these elite receivers do that? And, they do it by being a technician, which Daryl hit on yesterday, Moose in the game. And then they do it by, honestly, his lower half is unbelievably strong. And he can. Like a great rebounder, Salk, like you were back in the day at BB&N. You were giving up 5-6 inches to guys.
No problem.
You put your little hiney right into them.
Darn right.
Right, and you used your legs, and you used your strength, and you created that space, and he has mastered that art in really tight spaces of being the one that comes down with the ball.
509 says, so Salk, you'd be willing to let JSN walk to another team over a big contract he deserves. You're insane. I didn't say that. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Thankfully, don't need to make a decision on it today. I think it's an interesting conversation. I don't know. He may be a unique guy where at the end of it you say, the personality is such that it makes sense to keep him. But I don't know if it feels like you would have said the same thing to me a year ago about DK Metcalf when I said this over and over and over again about him. No, I don't want to pay DK Metcalf big money again. Yes, I would want to get as much value back from him or for him as I could. And do I think that JSN would be having this success right now if DK was here? No, I do not. I do not. That guy sucks the oxygen out of the room. JSN does not. And DK is a good player, but not a great one. He's a good player, but not a great one. He wants to be paid like a great player because of the position he plays. And I don't want that. I don't want to pay that. Now, what I love about JSN is the style, the personality. It has allowed the offense to function. I said earlier, Brock, he's done all of this without the offense being built around him. And I think that's maybe the most impressive part and what has allowed the offense to be so successful. If they were building everything around him, as I think DK wanted them to do, I don't think they would have had that kind of success. But because he's a part of the offense, he just ends up being open all the time. I think it works out a whole lot better for everybody in the offense
there
and
is
for
a
the Seahawks
couple.
in general.
Yeah, there are a couple enormous factors to consider in the stark differences in this conversation. Number one, he was a first-round pick, so you own that fifth-year option. So that is just folded in naturally into the negotiation. You are absolutely going to aim to extend him because it benefits you and the cap and everything else after this season. And does he want to do that, willing to do that? What does all that look like? But kind of like arbitration with Cal Raleigh or Julio, like here's the deal. Like this is your fourth-year number. This is your fifth-year number. So there can be an amazing way to really benefit both and fold that in. Secondly, as we sit here today.
You get next year and the year after?
That's right. That's exactly right.
This isn't even a conversation.
Secondly, the even better thing, the dude right now is 23 years old. He's 23 years old. He came into this league at 21, not like these COVID or fifth or sixth or seventh year guys. He's 2.5 years younger than Bo Nix. He's 23, won't be 24 till February. So you are talking about the best years of this guy for the next 4 or 5. This is a no-brainer with the first deal. Period. End of story. And there's a lot of dynamics that make it a win-win for both sides.
360 pointing out DK's not even the best DK in the NFL anymore. That the kid in Tennessee may be an even better DK. Brock, let's do some Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, powered by Xfinity.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, it is an Aftermath Monday, Brock, which is powered by Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. We've been talking about JSN. We've had some of the base numbers, but take me even deeper into the numbers.
Yeah, the two things kind of next level that are just mind-boggling is he would be 34th in the league in yards receiving if you only counted his 20-plus yard completions. He leads the league by 4 over Pickens in those 20-plus explosive plays. And if you just took those explosive plays, he'd be 34th in the league. That includes running backs and tight ends. So you're talking about a top 25 wide receiver if only you took those explosive 20-yard plays. I mean, it's just insane. And again, from a pure body type, busting barriers, breaking through glass ceilings. Oh, he's only 5'9" or whatever, 10, whatever he is. Like, can't be a 1 outside. Yeah, you can. Steve Smith showed that. Other short guys have shown it, especially when you've got the body control, the timing, the instincts, the anticipation, the hand-eye coordination, the high point, all that he's got. Yeah, that's why he's leading the league in that stat. Secondly, in DK, back to DK. In DK's year, and this is not a slide on DK, they're different guys. And DK was a power guy and a power, just post-go guy. He was not a short area quickness guy. In his years in Seattle, reception to target rate, target to reception rate, what did DK hit at? 60%.
Okay.
In his record-setting season way back in 2020 in the COVID year, when he was 1,303 yards, DK that year was 64%, career high in Seattle. But over the other 6-7 years, that number was 60%. JSN this year, 6-7. JSN this year, 75%. 80 of 107 targets.
That's
so
amazing.
from an efficiency standpoint, 75% of the time, even though the other team knows it, even though the other team tries to protect against it, even though the other team will try to focus on where he's at, Clint is moving him around enough. He catches it short, he catches it mid-range, he catches contested, and right now sitting at 75% completion rate. 80 of 107 is a remarkable number.
All right, question number 2. Huskies win on Saturday at the Rose Bowl, Brock. What are you learning about Jed Fish and his team?
Couple things on this. I don't think you saw the notes, Salk. UCLA may be done in the Rose Bowl. Isn't that kind of sad?
Yeah.
Did you go to games there?
Build a stadium on campus?
You went to a few games there, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're going to play elsewhere. It's just too far. It's too expensive. It's too cavernous. It's too, you get 30,000 people and 100,000 seat. The tarps they've got to take on and off. It's just not been, unfortunately, for this century, a very good deal for UCLA football. So it might be the last game because they play at SC in their season ender, and a lot of speculation that they're just going to be done playing there and going to figure out their next.
Going to go to SoFi?
I think there's talk about SoFi. There's talk about maybe their soccer stadium. I don't know, but something closer to campus. So that's kind of sad. Secondly, I don't know. I know what you're hearing. This is not anything new under the sun for Salky, because we talked about it with Jed Fish a couple weeks ago when he was making his case about loving it in Seattle. Here was Jed postgame making his case for, why he's doing things at UW that very few have ever done and cut 13.
Good win. Good win by the team. Jeff told me it's the second time in 30 years that Washington was able to win here. And I know we were 1-9 the last 10 times. So excited the way our guys played.
He's pretty good, man. He's pretty good. Jeff, the SID, he just told me, Bechtold, just the second time in 30 years. Like you didn't know that going in. Like you didn't have that ready to go in 2-7 right afterwards. Like he's pretty good. And you got to be a pretty good salesman in this day and age to keep your guys around, to continue to get recruits in, and obviously the coaching turnstile continue to turn. Even yesterday, Wilcox going to go down to Cal. It's going to continue to turn and turn and turn. And Jed is a pretty good talker and salesman.
All right, question number 3. I'm so glad you have this piece of sound, Brock, in Blue 88. I played it earlier.
It's my favorite sound.
And I totally
It's my favorite sound.
This is Mike Macdonald to a T. What are you hearing here, Brock?
Yeah, because a lot of coaches talk this. So in my life experience, a lot of them talking next man up. Next man up. You hear it all over the NFL. You'll hear it in college football, next man up. Okay, but do you believe in the next man up? And does everybody in the locker room believe? Or is there a level of trepidation like, Peyton's got a tinge in his elbow. This other left-handed guy, what's his name again? He's got to try to practice today? And you could feel the nervousness and the angst and the anxiety from, well, not Tony Dungy. He loved me, but just a huge majority of the folks in the building, like, ugh. Because it's all about one guy or two guys or three guys instead of 70. Here was Mike Macdonald walking the talk about being excited for when these other guys get their opportunities.
Well, yeah, it's the same message. I mean, it's a 70, and it's that feeling that we talk about throughout the year of like when guys have opportunities to go, you're excited to go see them play. Like these guys have earned opportunities to play for us in critical games, and so I was excited to see these guys play. And so it's exciting. It's great. It's not like, oh shoot, so and so's out. It's like, oh great, okay, great. Like let's go. Let's roll with Patio. Let's go.
You know what that requires, Salk? That requires an immense amount of continuity in your organization, that everybody believes in the 70 that are there. And then it's also, these guys got to rep and work and practice. They're just not off to the side being punching bags. They're not, treated as second fiddle. Like, no, man, like you're right there. You belong here. You belong here. You're one of the 70. You belong here. In walkthroughs and a practice, and otherwise, we're going to treat you the same. You're going to get a lot of work. And when your number is called, it's not a, oh, crap. Oh, no. Oh, geez. Kid from Missoula's in. Backup Montana linebacker's in. Like, no, I can't wait to watch this guy absolutely knock the snot out of himself and others 3 or 4 times in Tennessee and O'Connell yesterday. Yeah, a lot of people walk it, they talk it, and they believe it. And that's why they've had, I think, an immense amount of success with so much of their backup personnel this year.
That is today's Blue 88. Let me react here to 2 other football things, a text and a tweet, Brock. The text says, you don't think the offense is built around JSN? Isn't he like 75% of their pass attempts? Yeah, they throw the ball to him a lot. There's no doubt. And obviously, in terms of the result, he's been the biggest part of the offense. But I watched the game. Do you ever get the sense they've gone into a game like, all right, here's how we can force the ball to JSN over and over again, and we're going to get him open this way, and we're going to use him like this, and we're going to use him like that? Like, it strikes me watching it, and it's more of a feel thing than anything else, that he's just always open. It's just he's part of the offense. He's just the best part of it as opposed to the focal point of it all.
Well, I think that's 100% right. Like, are you going to, in you're trying to craft your game? By the way, he's got 100 of their 298 attempts, so that's not 75%. Sam's thrown it 298 times, and what did I say earlier? His attempts are 107, so, like, yeah, it's almost a third of it, but, like, come on now, not 75%. And it's trying to get him on mismatches, and they did it yesterday on safeties a couple times. That's what you're trying to do. You're moving them around. You never let them put their best on your best. You're trying to get a matchup advantage. I feel that, but I don't feel like, oh, we got to force it to him or we're doomed, because other guys are eating as well.
The other one was this tweet from Mike Garafolo a few minutes ago. This help me understand this, Brock. The Saints are working out veteran kicker Justin Tucker today. He has served his 10-game suspension for a violation of the league's personal conduct policy stemming from allegations of sexually inappropriate behavior. So from a human standpoint, why in the world would you do this? I don't understand. This is the lowest of the low. Why in the world would you go down this road from a human perspective? But the second part of it, why would the Saints bother? You are a terrible team. At least I could understand if you were a team that, that was right there in the postseason, and the one thing you needed was a kicker, and you're like, I don't feel good about this, but I'm going to hold my nose, and we need it from a football perspective. I hate it, but I'm going to do it. I would still crush you for it, but at the back of my mind, I'd understand why a team was doing it.
Yeah.
Why in the world would the Saints want to do this? Why would you bring this into your building and allow this guy an opportunity to keep playing when you have no need to do it whatsoever? Find some random dude who's playing soccer on the street and bring him in to do this job instead of Justin Tucker. You're a terrible football team going nowhere. Why would you do this? I'm baffled, baffled by that. That is the lowest of the low.
They're 3 points away every single week.
Yeah, no. Nope, no, and no. Absolutely no, nay, never. We'll come right back, Brock, with what might be the most heartbreaking story the two of us are looking at every single week right now. It's next on Brock and Salk.
4 Down Territory. Michael Bumpus answers the top 4 football questions of the day.
What do you want to see continue from the Seahawks offense?
Just find different ways to get Shaheed the football. All right, we're done with, okay, let's ease you into this whole situation. They brought you here to go over the top and be explosive in the reverse and in the return game. I think you keep running that jet sweep look too as well, man. You get the offense flowing on one side.
Catch every 4 Down Territory on the Seattle Sports app.
You could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi. And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts, With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off. Because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians and Salish Cancer Center are excited to announce the 3rd annual Giving Hope Gala. You can help support the Giving Hope Gala December 13th at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center and raise money for the Patient Financial Assistance Fund. The Salish Cancer Center helps anyone battling cancer, and attending this incredible event supports that cause. For tickets, sponsorship, and additional information on the Giving Hope Gala, visit puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
The best time of the year is here. Toyotathon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyotathon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyotathon, people. Come on.
O'Brien. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry and dream engagement ring to be nothing short of perfect, no matter the price. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Husky Nation, the rivalry is on, but this time it's bigger than football. This holiday season, we're taking a fight from the field to the table with Rivalry for a Reason, a competition fundraiser between UW and Oregon fans to tackle food insecurity across the Northwest. Every dollar you donate counts as a vote, and votes are unlimited. So let's outgive the Ducks and show our Husky pride. 100% goes to households in need, thanks to Safeway and Northwest Harvest. Visit dogsvsducks.org today.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get his freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Matt Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, Brock. This is a short segment, thankfully. I could not do this for a full 20 minutes or so. We got takeaways coming up in a half hour. We got Mike Macdonald in an hour and a half at 9:30. We'll talk Seahawks again throughout the morning. I could not do this for longer than 6 or so minutes. But I feel like I have to, because seriously, Brock, seriously, I want you to answer me seriously. Seriously.
All right.
what is going on in Las Vegas? What is happening with Pete Carroll,
So
Geno
what goes
Smith,
on in
and the
Vegas
rest of the
stays in
Raiders?
Vegas. You
Well,
told me
no,
that with all
it
your boys'
can't.
trips.
Brock, what is happening to the Raiders? What
I blame
is
us.
happening?
Salk, I blame us. I blame Mora.
For
I blame
what?
you. I blame me. We all play a role in this. All right? We should have known. Mora should have known, should have warned us even more. We all should have just said it at the time. Like the minute the Raiders had to order new AirPods for Pete to do the interview with us, and the AirPods were upside down. It should have been a tell that all three of us could have just said
that
to
is
Coach,
how
like,
dare
Coach,
you.
we love you. This is not going to go well. When
Stop
their
it.
PR person has to chat with Mora 3 or 4 times off the air about making sure they're the right AirPods, or what do we do?
I am not supporting this. How dare you even go there? The Raiders
No,
just
but
got
as
beat
someone
by
who's worked in this field a long time, I was very impressed with how organized and responsive they were. I thought they were running a good operation there.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Well, we were wrong, Maura. You were wrong. I hope you know that. You were
Can't
wrong,
speak to the
Maura.
PR staff. They may be
Wrong.
now.
You were dead wrong, because it is ugly, Brock. They get beat by Shedeur Sanders. I mean, of course, too. It would be a Shedeur Sanders victory that kind of emphasizes this after there was some thought that maybe the Raiders would take him, I don't know, 3 or 4 different times during that draft. Instead, they didn't. I don't know if that was a mistake or not. I don't know that he's exactly what they need, but he does beat them yesterday. You sent me the video of Max Crosby yelling at people on the sidelines. That was hideous. Chip Kelly gets fired after
Geno
the game, Brock.
flipping off the fans, running off the field.
We don't know for the legitimacy of that, but it sure looks like Geno's flipping off the home crowd, like his own crowd. Brock, Chip Kelly fired. You know, Pete doesn't like firing anybody.
So he didn't
certainly
fire
not
an
during the
assistant in
season.
17 years here.
Well,
He
he's
did-
now fired 2.
in-season.
First, he had to get rid of the special teams coordinator a couple weeks ago, and now Chip Kelly's got to go as well. Cut 21, Q Myers, game night host on ESPN Radio, was asking if that was even the problem.
I don't really know how to evaluate Chip Kelly's offense because I haven't seen it really be able to be put to work, right? Because the offense, they've given up 20 sacks in 3 games. 20 sacks in 3 games. Like, who's going to survive there? Ashton Genty's not. Geno Smith's not. The offense isn't going to get clicking. So, like I said, there's so many problems that this team has, and this was a team that Pete Carroll thought was going to, win a lot of games. His words, not mine. I win 10 games every year. That's what I've always done. Well, they've only won 2, and they've been embarrassed more times than not. So this is why they're at the spot that they are right now with firing their offensive coordinator.
And look, a lot of that is a talent problem. They're not that talented, but the one thing you could always expect from Pete is that the culture would start moving in the right direction. And as you look at it here now, 11 weeks and 12 weeks into the season, I think the biggest problem for Pete is that the culture is not moving in the right direction.
No, it's not. Max Crosby is a great dude, an unbelievable engine, plays his guts out, and he's getting into it on the sidelines with other guys. Jamal Adams is pile driving players last night, Salk, into the ground for personal foul and 15-yard penalties. Geno is losing his mind. He's been sacked 41 times. Right, you're running Stone Forsythe out there, and I love Pete. And man, does he believe in people in ways that nobody else does. But believing that Stone Forsythe is going to block Myles Garrett and leave him in one-on-one situations, like what are we even doing here? I mean, it is really, really bad. And he doesn't want to fire coaches. He's never done that. That's been his MO, certainly in season. Never did it one time in Seattle in season, and was really reluctant, and it was really hard. And I think, honestly, in the end, that was the biggest thing for John and Pete. They still love each other. They still support each other. There is no hard feelings there. But John was like, Pete, I gotta be in charge of the coaches. I'm the general manager. Like, I've got to sign off on this, and you've got to hand it. And it was like, nope, not doing that. Can't do that. Loyal to my guys. And to make these 2 firings in season,
and probably a little easier for Pete not to have the same level of loyalty to Chip Kelly, who it's not like he's got a long history with, but the point is very well taken, and it just shows the depth of what's going on there. They are rebuilding. Cut 22, Pete was asked if it's been harder than expected.
I haven't been in the situation, so I thought, well, maybe I could have something to do with avoiding this, so we're going to keep doing what we know how to do, and that's to keep grinding. This team, just in the locker room right there, they ain't giving up on each other, and I'm not giving up on them, and they're not giving up on me, I hope, and we're going to keep battling and work our ass off just the way we know how to do, and that's really what you do, and try to make the right decisions and the right choices with the personnel and all of that as best we can. And in our world, they got to show it, and that they compete to show it, and that's always been the way, and we won't change that.
Well, Pete's in the locker room. I'm not, so I don't know what's going on in there. But based on what we can see from the sidelines, that doesn't look to be the case.
Well, even when he says, "I hope," they haven't given up on me. I hope. Like those two little words right there resonate to me. Maybe I'm nitpicking that a little bit. And I would also say, and I love, and respect the man to death. You've not been in this situation for 40 years. Like the last time you were in this spot was with the New York Jets. You're 2-9. The worst seasons in Seattle were 7-9, 7-9, got the quarterback. Like you were not in this spot. And even one of those 7-9 teams made the playoffs and beat the New Orleans Saints with a beast quake. At USC, you weren't in this spot at 2-9. Like you haven't been in this spot since, honestly, last century, I think, with the Jets. And I don't know where the light at the end of the tunnel is. That O-line is so, so bad. 41 sacks in 11 games. And these aren't Salk. He's holding the ball, and Gino's terrible, and he can't do he literally drops back. They literally try to run a boot, and there's three guys in his they're a real rough one.
He was sacked 10 times. I don't even know what to make of that number. He was sacked 10 times yesterday. 10. Yeah. He's got a game with 6, a game with 5, and 3 games with 4. That is some of that's got to be on the offensive line. It can't entirely be on the offensive line, though. Some of that's got to be on Gino as well. And
the play
he does not look good.
Pete
does not look good. None of it looks good. And just poor Pete.
Feel bad for the man. This is not the way you want to go out.
No, really, really not. All right, quick break. Come back, give you guys everything you need to know, and then takeaways. I'm actually psyched for takeaways. This is kind of a game for takeaways because the big picture, all right, you beat Tennessee. But the takeaways of it are actually probably where the fun is. That's coming up in 20. It's Brock and Salk, Sales Sports on 710.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
Mariners strike first in free agency with the big signing.
I think it was emblematic of where the Mariners are, and I think that is a tribute to how much Josh loved it in Seattle. And again, when you create the right environment and when you win, you don't have to try as hard or spend as much in free agency.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Well, you got your turkey ready to go? Are you brining it? Are you thinking of the preparation of all your side dishes? Because the holidays are here. Thanksgiving just 3 days away, and then Christmas right around the corner. And do you or someone on their wish list this year want the gift of fitness? Then you better check out my friends at Top Fitness and their Black Friday sales event going on right now, where you can save up to $1,000 on Inspire gyms and treadmills and True treadmills as well. Plus, how about free delivery and assembly on your Precor treadmills, ellipticals, and bikes? You can also save, this is a great deal, 50% on last year's display models. Olympic weight bars, they start at just $50. And home gym attachments and accessories, if you're looking for some stocking stuffers, 50% off starting at just $10. It is no secret why everybody from personal trainers to pro athletes love Top Fitness. You can go visit them in person in Tukwila, Linwood, or Bellevue, or find all the details on the Black Friday sales event going on right now at topfitness.com. Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Dave Chappelle, live at Climate Pledge Arena December 9th, one night only. The comedy legend returns to Seattle. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't wait, Dave Chappelle, Climate Pledge Arena December 9th. Get your seats today.
Black Friday Comfort Sale is on now at Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 75% on furnaces, ACs, heat pumps, EV chargers, generators, and more. And take 18 months to pay with 0% financing. Call before December 1st. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
This is the home of the Seahawks. Gonna let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN. Seattle Sports.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online. Plus, well, you get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices with no one battling for bandwidth. And for the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony. And you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6, 7, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
It was a good win for the Seahawks yesterday. Not their best, not the best game they'll ever play. And, you know, it's hard to prove a lot when you're taking on a Titans team that's not going anywhere and is a sort of a dangerous animal just kind of lying around waiting for you to step on it like a scorpion. But they did what they needed to do. They contained Cam Ward at least enough. Defense got in his face nonstop. They didn't allow them to run the ball at all. And offensively, they ran the ball better than they have, and they showed some of that explosiveness that they needed. Cut one, the ultimate Sam Darnold deep ball to you-know-who.
3rd down and 6. Slot to the near side. Smith-Njigba now comes over from left to right. 4-man rush. Darnold has time. Going to let it fly. Got a man, JSN. Makes the catch. Breaks the tackle. He's going to back into the end zone for a touchdown. Seahawks. 6 63 yards. Single coverage. You guys know better than that, Tennessee. A beautiful pass. Smith and Jigba catches it. DB falls down. A certain touchdown for the Hawks, and Seattle leads now 9-3.
Well, and you got a little Wyman chuckle in there, Brock. You know, anytime ex-players laugh that somebody's doing something special, and it was JSN.
A couple fun little details of that one in particular, Salk. That wasn't just a one-on-one. That was one-on-one with their safety.
Oh,
and that only happens because of that down and distance, your matchup study, your preparation, your scheme, your movement, your motion to get him into that situation. Secondly, it was about, I don't know, it was we call that kind of a peanut punch, right? When those guys strike the ball. And he just kind of gave a quick little peanut punch to separate. He didn't extend the arm, that being JSN on that safety. He extended the arm. It's offensive PI, not a touchdown. He gave a real quick little subtle, that the ref couldn't see to create that. Just enough little more separation to haul that in and make yet again, a game-changing, explosive down-the-field play that the dude has mastered this season.
8 catches, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, breaks the single-season franchise record for receiving. Just remarkable what he's done. And
when the ball's in the air, by the way, is it a little Cal Raleigh to you? Like when Cal Raleigh would hit one and you would be like, is that another one? Is that another one? Is that another one? Like when the ball is in the air and you know it's JSN on the other end, when your eyes start to capture that?
You know what my favorite JSN play was? It might have even been the record breaker. It was just that little in-cut. I don't know if it was a slant but like it just his ability to catch it running in stride. He's wide open. It's just unbelievable. Afterwards, cut 8. He did talk about that record, Brock, and what it means to him to break it.
It means a lot. This organization, great organization, and great receivers have came through here. So honestly, I look at it as a team award, honestly, because without Sam and without the protection, without Sheed and Coop, this doesn't happen. So I'm grateful, I'm thankful, blessed for my team, blessed to be a Seahawk.
Pretty cool. They got Minnesota at home. I know, right? Minnesota at home on Sunday. Vikings 4-7. They have you looked at some of the numbers on J.J. McCarthy?
JJ's it's been a disaster.
I should have trusted my instinct and never let Joel Klatt or anybody else convince me that he was good.
Yep.
I should have trusted the blink scouting, Brock. I watched him play once. He was awful, and I should have stuck with it.
Just be careful because
I know. In 3 or 4 years, he's going to be the best quarterback in football. I know. I just don't know if he has the physical ability to do it. Like, it's one thing with Darnold and Baker and those guys and kind of figuring out the NFL.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he physically is a good enough thrower of the football to be the type of quarterback they need him to be. Rams dominate. They get to 9-2. Cowboys beating the Eagles. They came storming back. That's kind of crazy. Lions beat the Giants in overtime. Jameis Winston caught a throwback touchdown. Ugh. Steelers lose, and the Ravens lead that division. Raiders, we talked about quite a bit. And the Niners and Panthers will finish up the week's slate tonight.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Yeah, so this is the time of year where baseball teams have to tender contracts to players who are not yet under contract in the final. I don't know, man. I can't even begin to describe it. You just have to know it. Go read the Major League Baseball.
All the other guys that don't have long-term contracts, and it's remarkable. There's not many for the Mariners that do. Right? It's Luis, it's Julio, it's Cal, it's JP who's in the final year of his deal. Everybody else is in this 6-year arbitration rung. I mean, they are so young as well. We got a young football team that we celebrate with so many difference makers, and it's the same thing. And even your guys that are extended.
There's a few others, right? Victor Robles and a couple other guys that are.
He's on the final year. Yeah, he's got a 2-year. But there's not many. I mean, I was looking at that list of players.
Yeah.
And almost all of them are in this rung of arbitration eligibility.
What do you make of the trade yesterday? So Rangers send Marcus Semien, 35 years old, to the Mets. They get back 32-year-old outfielder Brandon Nimmo.
So Buster said to us last week. Buster said in this American League West, right? Is that where your mind went to?
That they're trying to save money. It's a little weird because they're saving money short-term, spending more long-term, because they got Nimmo for 5 more years.
Mm-hmm.
This is the
trying to
problem
get their
with some
books,
of these
but they're
deals.
trying to get their books right before what's looming is looming.
I know, but it does show you this is sort of the downside. The Rangers got the win while they were going for it, and good for them. If they had fallen a game short, which was about to happen, you would be looking at that Rangers deals and the money they spent right now and being like, oh my God, what a disaster. What an absolute disaster. Just crazy how a game or two here or there can completely change the story like that.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
I promise I won't complain anymore. I said it about Chandler Stevenson and the worst shootout attempt I think I've ever seen yesterday. But it was a 3-point weekend for the Kraken. On Saturday, they got the overtime win. It was Brandon Montour here, cut 9, winning it for the team in Pittsburgh.
Gaudreau cuts across, lays it back. Here's Montour. He scores! Hey, hey! What do you say? Brandon Montour wins it in overtime.
I love the organ, the sad organ right afterwards. So funny. So they then lose in the shootout yesterday, so they pick up 3 out of 4 points on the weekend. And the Huskies, Brock, 2 in the ground, 2 through the air from Damon Williams. They thump the Bruins.
They get to 8-3, and they'll host the Ducks for the season finale. Makes you wonder what could have been. Had you taken care of business in Wisconsin and just found a way to win that thing, you'd be 9-2, and we'd be talking a playoff berth on the line with Oregon this week. But we are not. And kudos to the UW women's soccer team. Knock off the #1 seed Virginia yesterday, now into the Elite 8. That story just continues, and so awesome for those young ladies.
All right, there you go. That is everything you need to know. We do a quarter past every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. An hour or so from now, we will talk to Mike Macdonald. It is a Aftermath Monday now, Brock, which is powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. You like that? Aftermath Monday?
So Football Fridays, Aftermath Mondays.
Yeah, it was a reaction Monday, but now it's an Aftermath Monday, which has a little bit more juice to it, I think. And there's a lot to aftermath right now. After arithmetic, I don't know. We got takeaways, a full slate of them from win yesterday next on Brock and Salk.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside to Charbonnet. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. Just going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Are you thinking about making big changes in your life for the better? If so, don't put it off. I know it's easy to try to wait till the new year, but you don't have to. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic offering $300 off their plan, biggest sale of the year. And you can do this even during the holiday season. You can still enjoy the big meals at Thanksgiving and Christmas or New Year's or whatever. I did this myself, lost 35 pounds in about 8 weeks. That could be you just into next year. Get a leg up on all the New Year's resolutioners and start with a plan that really does work. It's been proven by over 4,000 people here locally. Me as well. I got it done. It was pretty easy. It's very healthy. It's $300 off, which is great, but it's all real food, again, that you buy at the grocery store. No scary injections, no pills, nothing like that. Real, fresh food and a proven plan. It starts with just a 15-minute phone call and see all about how they can save you $300 between now and the end of the year. Go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
off.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Hey, it's Reese Davis. Let's be honest, we can't keep an eye on everything. Unless you've got Blink Outdoor 4 cameras. While you're focused on the game, Blink's keeping an eye on your home.
With up to 2-year battery life and with Sync Module XR, you can cover more space without constant maintenance. No wires, no worries. Blink helps keep an eye on what matters most. Get Blink today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Well, have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next-day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III! Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
If you've been waiting to try learning a new language with Babbel, now is the time. Black Friday has come early this year. Babbel's biggest sale is happening now. Unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription at our best price of the year, which means a small investment for all your big adventures. Babbel's bite-sized lessons fit easily into your daily routine and are easy to remember. Plus, Babbel teaches you relevant words and phrases so you can start speaking with confidence in as little as 3 weeks. And with a lifetime access to all of Babbel's languages, lessons, podcasts, and cultural insights, just imagine what you can do, or rather, where you could go. So if you've been putting off booking that pastry pilgrimage to France for fear of mispronouncing poisson, take advantage of Babbel's biggest sale of the season. Where will Babbel take you? Find out at Babbel.com. But hurry, this offer ends November 30th. Get Babbel's lifetime access for less for a limited time at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're planning to propose this holiday, we're ready to make creating your engagement ring a warm, welcoming experience. At Shane Company, we're all about your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Explore the widest selection of diamonds and ring settings ready for you to see in person, or visit us at shaneco.com. You'll have your ring in days, not weeks. Our friendly jewelry consultants don't work on commission. There's never any pressure, just perfect proposals. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This hour is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Yes, good text. What about the Torrent, Salk? Yeah, they had their debut game, Brock, on, Friday night? I think it was Friday night. Watched that game. They were up in Vancouver, lost in overtime in their team debut. They play again Friday. I'll be over there at 1 o'clock for their home opener at Climate Pledge. Looking forward to it. It is the worst. I can't believe how bad the name is. I love the team. I'm super excited about it. It is so hard to say the name. It does not roll off the tongue. Cecily and I were at a store the other day returning something. The woman at the desk is like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Cecily, "Oh, I just played hockey." "Oh, that's so great. Are you excited for the crack?" "Yeah." And Cecily's like, "Yeah, plus I'm excited for the Torrent." And the woman's like, "The what?" "The Torrent." The what? Like, I mean, like, she must have asked her 5 times what she was saying. And, like, it's just a really hard name to say out loud.
Yeah, what's the WNBA team, the new women's team out of Golden State? There's this
The
kind of
Valkyries?
funky. Yes. The
That's easy to say.
Valkyries? The Valkyries? What's a Valkyrie?
A warrior? A female warrior?
It's okay. Really?
Yeah.
You think 90% of sports fans know what a Valkyrie is?
I don't know.
No.
Flight of the Valkyries? Brock, I don't know. I don't know what people know and what they don't. People don't know anything anymore. I'm just saying at least you can say the word Valkyries pretty easily as opposed to torrent.
Then let's
To
give the
torrent.
people what they want, okay, and what they do know. That on Mondays at this time, we do takeaways. Can we do that?
Yes.
All right.
Takeaways.
Did you and I really spend the first hour and a half of the show and hardly mention the name Sam Darnold? Did we really do that on a Monday after an NFL game?
Yeah. What are you
coming
gonna
off
say?
a 4-interception game in LA and everything else? What do you think of Sam?
He was fine.
3 turnover-worthy plays. 3 turnover-worthy plays, and I think that is why I was surprised to see, like, his passer rating, right, really good yesterday. Passer rating of 118. He was 28-16 to 26. Sweet spot number. We love anything in the attempt range and the 28 and under. 16 to 26. 118 rating, 2 touchdowns, no picks. But that QBR was just 42.2. And I think what they try to do in that QBR is to look at your decision-making and then your turnover-worthy plays. So you didn't have a pick, could have had 3. Right? Threw a little out route, late, little option route to K9. K9 did a really good job. I think it was on the first possession of the game as well, or second possession of knocking it away. Like, oh, could have dodged Ebola there. Like, put that one out in front, man, to the sideline. You cannot leave that late and behind. Nearly a pick 6, in fact. If K9 wasn't paying any attention, right, and didn't get his hands in it at all, like, that dude might have pick 6 that sucker. That would have not been a great start. Down in the red zone, you heard Darryl Johnson be like, can't do that. Scramble to your left, scramble and run. Scramble and throw it away. Don't scramble and throw it into, and it was a tight throw, and I think it actually almost hit off Barner's helmet and gets, popped up in the air, and then obviously got hit on one down the field that was a little bit late and fortunate it fell to the ground. So 3 turnover-worthy plays, none of them go the wrong way, so he's clean. The team is clean for only the 3rd time this year. But then when he did have to hit those shots down the field, Salk, he dropped them right
he
in
made
the
some
bucket
great
yet
plays.
again.
Maybe it's hard because he didn't seem to be the best quarterback on the field yesterday. Right? I mean, like, Cam Ward was
2 different games, totally different games, right?
I said seam.
Yes.
Sam's playing at a very high level, but because the other guy had to do so many crazy things with his legs and running around, like, I thought that maybe he got overshadowed a little bit because a lot of the focus would have been on Cam Ward. And also, as I said, Brock, there's only so much you can prove against the Tennessee Titans. Sorry. And the same is going to be true next week against Minnesota. It's not until you play.
Minnesota's defense is
I know their defense is
They're
good,
really
but
good. Yeah. That's his old team. That's a very elite defense. That's a different conversation to me than this one.
I'm glad
this one he had a chance to go
I'm
1,
glad
2,
to hear
3.
it. I'm glad you feel that way. I'm going to disagree with you, and that I will be making some decisions based on how he does closer to the end of this year against some of the better teams that he's going to play.
Takeaways.
Well, I will start with Cam Ward because I was just blown away yesterday. I do have a lot of Seahawks stuff, but Cam was unbelievable. I really hadn't seen him play since he was at Wazoo. I don't watch a ton of college football, so I never saw him play at Miami. Obviously, I knew that he had gotten better, became the #1 overall pick, but he was the difference maker yesterday. He was the only thing that kept Tennessee in that game. That would have been an ugly, ugly score without him and what he did. His legs were dynamic. The escapability showed up constantly. His sense for the moment and when his team needed him, I thought was very impressive. He was at his best, Brock, in those 3rd and 4th downs when they needed him to be. I don't know if he was perfectly accurate, and maybe that will improve as, his pocket gets better, but he more than made up for it with his playmaking. I tell you what, put some people around him, and I think he's going to be good. And I did find myself thinking about what Draymond Jones said on the way out the door, and I found that really meaningful. The fact that a guy who was traded away for no reason other than he felt like saying it took that time to say, hey, Titans fans, you got a dude in Cam Ward. Get ready because something fun is on the way. After watching him yesterday for the first time, a full game, I think he's absolutely right. Like he in one day became one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, I think he commands a level of respect from his teammates and peers because of that. And he is not about, it doesn't strike me as he's about Cam Ward. About being a great football player. And some of the behind the scenes from Allison and Daryl, and you heard some of that. He continues to be the first one in and the last one to leave. And there's a high care factor, and it really matters to him. And, man, I think Demarcus Lawrence and Leonard and all those guys would also echo what Draymond did. Like, this dude's a warrior now. He took a beating. I mean, he took a beating, and you didn't see him, my ankle, my shoulder, wah. You just saw him get back up and go right back to it.
And then make people miss and then find a way to hit somebody on the run. I was blown away. I thought he was awesome, much better than maybe I'm crazy, Brock. I kind of felt like he was the number one pick by default. Like there just wasn't really anybody to take at that spot this year. Not after watching him. I feel now look, that's just one game.
The release is a little slingy.
Great.
Yep, the release is a little low, and that's going to be a little bit of a challenge with some throws and some of the accuracy at times. But outside, that's nitpicking, because outside of that, on a bad team, he is the lone bright spot, certainly offensively.
Takeaways.
Well, after hearing throughout the week that Ken Walker had earned more opportunities, I felt like that was more of an appropriate split for the rushing attack yesterday. Walker still only got 11 carries, but they involved him in the passing game too. It felt like they got the ball to him enough to have some explosive plays with that. They weren't putting Charbonnet in and disrupting the rhythm. And then they went to Charbonnet in the right situation. So I'm hoping that maybe they're starting to figure out their groove for how this rushing attack should be split.
Well, I think one of the best things is he's been able to post. Played 11 games out of 11. And that little glute thing flared up on Friday, right? He all of a sudden hit the injury report, so something happened this week at practice that tightened up a little bit or whatever. And I think there was some concern when you're limited on Friday and you're questionable on the injury report. Is this guy going to be able to go? So great news for him, because he's got to continue all season long to post and be available, because the team is way better, way better when you get that 1-2 punch. And I thought Charbonnet, I don't know if this was just my eyes or whatever, but I thought he had a little different gear yesterday too.
Yeah, I thought Walker looked more decisive. That was my takeaway in watching Ken Walker. He looked much more decisive, which allowed him to hit the hole with a little bit more of his speed. And I thought Charbonnet, Brock, I would agree with you. I thought he looked more fluid yesterday than maybe we've seen.
That's a good way to put it too. Yeah.
Like he just was.
Well, and there were lanes, and against that, the strength probably of the Tennessee's defense is their front. So it was a good job of the offensive line to open those up too.
Absolutely. They looked more yesterday like they did in the preseason, when they were moving guys out of the way and those two running backs were able to just fly through holes. I felt like we saw a lot more of that yesterday, specifically with Charbonnet, but also with Ken Walker. Both guys I thought were the best they've been at any point this season.
Takeaways.
Salk, what is a simulated pressure?
A simulated pressure? It's when something looks like it's going to be pressure, but it's not.
Mm-hmm. And how many times do you think the Seahawks presented that to young Cam Ward? I mean, it was unbelievable yesterday, the amount of different blitzes and fronts and looks. And I shouldn't say blitzes, because a blitz is sending, 5 or 6, and most of this was 4. But it was coming from every direction possible. It was safeties, it was linebackers, it was edges. There were times they dropped both edges, right, and brought, nickel defenders. Like, it was Cam Moore got me like, man, I'd never seen anything like this. I didn't see it in Incarnate Ward. I didn't see it at Wazoo. I didn't even see it in the ACC. Like, this was chaos. And because of it, on 48 dropbacks, they were able to pressure him 40 times. They only sacked him 4, which is a remarkable number. And there's a lot of guys on that plane kicking themselves like, dang, I could have had another, and I could have had another, and Spoon could have had one, and D-Law could have had a couple more. And that could have been a 6, 7, 8 sack game pretty easily if they could have drugged that guy to the ground, but they couldn't. But their looks, Salk, and their simulated pressures, making it look like, okay, we're coming from this side. Oh, nope, we're actually not doing that. Oh, we're making it look like here comes 6 or 7. Actually, we're simulating that, and we're not doing that. And the number of simulated, I'll ask Coach, from a simulated pressure standpoint, if that was a season high and that was a point of emphasis and against a rookie quarterback, I think it was. And you can tune that up for Mr. J.J. McCarthy on Sunday as well.
Takeaways.
All right, so that's all about the defensive scheme, Brock. Let's talk about the offensive scheme for a moment. We've spent a ton of time this morning on JSN for obvious reasons. Sam Darnold, the guy throwing him the ball, we've talked a lot about him, obviously, all year long. How much do we got to talk about Clint Kubiak? And not that we've completely ignored it, but you mentioned JSN being deep on the safety on that one bomb for the touchdown. They mentioned it in the broadcast. Moose did that there was another play where they were able to get JSN deep on a safety. That's not a JSN thing. That is a Clint Kubiak thing, right? Finding ways to exploit their defense and get great matchups for his best player right now. Again, I don't feel like that offense is built around him, and I give Kubiak credit for that as well. Even with a guy that is playing at such a high level, he's not overdoing it. He's just using him exactly the right way. Clint is really on fire right now.
Yes. Yeah, moving those chess pieces around, right? That's why it's not always checkers. And how can I get my queen in that spot of versatility? How can I get my rook here on that guy? How can I take advantage of all the different assets I have? And, you know, there's going to be more with Shaheed. I think that's going to continue to grow over the next 6 weeks because you see the ball in his hands. That dude is smooth.
Can you help me with one part here, though, and just more my curiosity? It felt, anyway, like I saw a lot more shotgun yesterday than we had been seeing for a while. Am I crazy? Did I not see that?
I don't know. It was only 46 snaps, so I think that's a little hard to gauge sometimes. I saw your note on that, and I couldn't find any direct link to that after the game yesterday of how many of those.
Watching the game, that was kind of how it felt to me, and I was kind of curious if you thought there might be a reason for it.
There were definitely 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 6s, 3rd and 5. There were some more of those gun 3rd down for sure. But
a couple of 5 wide plays. I don't know. It surprised me a little bit to see as much of it, but it made me wonder. Again, I may be wrong. Maybe there wasn't an odd or a change in percentage, but maybe, hey, look, we're going to beat this team. Let's put different stuff on tape. Let's force other teams to prepare for different things. I don't know.
I don't know what it feels like though, and this is I think a testament to Macdonald helping Kubiak down there on the sidelines, letting him always know what's to come. Right? He never feels caught up like, oh gosh, didn't have the call ready. Oh gosh, what am I going to do on 3rd down? Oh gosh, or is this goes like? It always felt it's felt that way through this year, maybe as much as any year I can remember. Like they're all on the same page. And they're just never. I know there were some false starts, and it's never perfect, but I don't ever feel like they're frantic, or they're rushed, or they're in a hurry and not getting to the things that they want to get to in their plan.
Takeaways.
Well, it's nothing new, but the depth on the defense continues to be incredibly impressive with Tyrese Knight and Ernest Jones both out. Patrick O'Connell, Drake Thomas, and Eman Wari stepped up to be top 3 in tackles yesterday. Brandon Peely made a big play, and then Byron Murphy was making his presence known all game with Jaron Reed out. I think what impresses me the most is that Macdonald said when he first got here that he wanted the players to have answers. And it felt like last year they were trying to get there but couldn't quite get there. They had to cycle through some linebackers that didn't work. The coaching wasn't right. And just to get to this point where you seem to have the exact guys you need mentally, physically, you seem to have such detailed coaching that everyone knows their assignment. I think it's impressive to get to where they are in such a short time.
So agreed, and we'll talk to Mike about their depth. Patrick O'Connell was sort of the big fill-in yesterday, Brock. Yes. I mean, clearly he can come downhill and hit people in the running game. It looked to me anyway like he got exposed in space a little bit more. Was this one of those opportunities where, hey, this is a good matchup for him? Maybe be a little bit more concerned if he had to play against a team like the Rams, not just because they're a better team, but because of the style of offense that they run.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I wouldn't say Tennessee was a real good running team. Right? They're kind of just
I guess what I mean is just not as well equipped to take advantage of a guy who doesn't move as well in space in the middle of the field.
That's probably fair.
Now, that being said, maybe you play the Rams and he's off the field more and you're going more with one linebacker. So, they've got a lot of ways to cover for stuff like that. But I think, the bigger takeaway being Mourit's absolutely right. Like, the depth on the team is just spectacular. 1 through 70 or more.
Yeah, we hit on this a couple weeks ago. I think leading into that Rams game, especially, as almost every minute of every day was building to that game of the offseason and the identity and getting the right kind of guys to fit what you want, what Mike wants. And a season ago, it was all late. They were late to the game. It was late in the hiring cycle. It was late in the coordinating cycle. It was late in the scouting cycle. It was late in all of that stuff. And so here's Dotson, and here's Drunker, and here's a veteran safety, and here's guys that at least have played, right, that bring some of that resume. But they didn't fit. They didn't fit. And a year later, and an offseason later, being on the hip of John Schneider at the Senior Bowl, being in the booth at the Combine for day after day after day, like, this is what I need. This is the kind of clay I can mold and make work and fit. 1 through 70 on this roster, and you're seeing it when they get their opportunity, not just playing, but really maximizing and playing some great football when they come and fill in.
Takeaways.
You know what yesterday was as well? It was one of those games that, remember in that losing season with the Seahawks, and they're playing the Niners, and the Niners had just kind of turned the corner, and they were so violent. And Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw and Hufanga, and when they were young, and Bosa and Armstead, and it was like, like, oh my gosh, every time you caught the ball, you just felt a snot bubble was coming. How many hits yesterday from how many different guys where you were like, goodness gracious, I hope that guy gets up. I mean, O'Connell had 3. And if I was doing that game yesterday, there was one of them, and I don't know if it was spit or sweat, but they did slow-mo, and it was a collision down near the goal line. Did you see it? And literally, like, this perspiration or sweat or whatever it was is like flying out of his helmet after the collision. And I'm like, that is so good. Okada came up and stuck this little Drake Thomas. He's like Sam Mills back in the day. His leverage is so phenomenal that when he sets his feet and his feet are in the ground and his face mask is forward, there is a stopping power of violence. We're not carrying guys. We're not giving up leaky yards. Whatever they hit, they destroy.
And the guys up front. I mean, like, Leonard's still doing his thing. And obviously, I saw... Oh, you know who just hits so well is Demarcus Lawrence. I just love him, man. I have loved him more than I ever thought I would this year. Yeah, I'm with you, Brock. Those are all very good. It was awesome. It was just fun seeing this team hit.
Whatever he hits, he destroys.
Thank you, Brigitte.
Takeaways.
All right, Maura, I'm with you. Still waiting to see how Rashid Shaheed is going to fit into the passing game. Brock, I'm with you. I'm excited to see it when it happens. But in the meantime, as we're waiting for him to become an offensive threat, he's already a difference maker in the return game. The hidden yards that he picked up just yesterday in the punt return game, I know special teams aren't going to be a standout talking point from the game since they gave up a punt return touchdown of their own that kind of made this a closer game than it really needed to be.
There were only 4 penalties on that play, by the way.
I mean, sure.
There was only a block in the back and 2 holds. I tell you, like, but the refs were like, it's 23-3. Do we want a game or not a game? Yeah, let's just let them score. So at least we have some theater in the second half.
I know you like to talk about hidden yards, and clearly I think you've seen them from Rashid Shaheed just in a couple of games. He does make a difference in the punt return game, and similarly, I think we got to start throwing even more credit at Jason Myers.
Yep.
I mean, this is a new job of the kicker. This year, we've never talked about this before. The job of the kicker on kickoffs has always been kick it deep. Kick it as deep as you can and let them have a touchback and keep the ball out of their hands. But there's a new job this year. It involves getting it higher. It involves getting the ball to land exactly where you want. There's a distance control where you don't want to hit it too far, but you don't want to hit it too short. It's almost like a golfer where you're not just aiming left or right, but there's also a distance control.
There's a landing area. There's a distinct landing area.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal at it.
He's the best in football at it. Yep. So huge credit to him. That has absolutely helped pin the other team deeper than they would be. And Rashid Shaheed doing the exact opposite on the punt return game. Little hidden yards that do make a difference in these wins.
Takeaways.
I was surprised that was Derek Hall's first sack. He has 10 pressures, 7 quarterback hits this year. It feels like he's been a difference maker. So I guess it kind of speaks to that not always being the most important stat, but hopefully some more to come for him.
I would agree. I think even Macdonald at the presser yesterday was like, "Oh, that's his first." I'm like, huh? The dude has been, an old Pete Carroll word, right? Like, you feel him. You feel him. And just like my last takeaway here, don't you just feel this front? And I've said it every Monday, Salk. I've said it like every quarterback. It's from a quarterback's old perspective. You just feel this front. You feel this pocket just punctured and dent and like it just is overwhelming.
Hey, you know who I felt yesterday for the first time maybe all year was Spoon.
Oh yeah.
You felt him in the rush. You felt him on, in the back end. You felt him knocking away passes.
You set up about 3 of those knockout shots by setting an edge and stopping it. So here comes cleanup on aisle 4. Yeah.
Yeah, good on him. We got a bunch of texts about him as well. So.
Yep.
All right, there you go. You have one more, Brock? You want to finish it up?
Well, I just found it remarkable that Tennessee, and I'll have to ask Coach Macdonald about this. I can't remember a game. I said in my little post-game video reaction that I try to do right after every game when it ends. I don't ever remember seeing 24 conversion attempts. The Titans had 17 third down conversion attempts, 6 of 17, and then 5 of 7 on fourth down. 24 different conversion attempts.
That's crazy.
The Seahawks had 8. 2 of 7, 0 of 1. Like that was it. And yet you totally controlled the majority of that game, and they were in desperation mode, really, as you stepped on them early and tried to chase you down.
All right, there you go. That is a full slate of takeaways, Brock. Every day after the games, we do that at 8:30, and it's always fun. Mike Macdonald will join us a little over a half hour from now at 9:30. We've spent most of our morning talking about the Seahawks offense, but I think we all know where this team is built and what the most important unit is. So what did we see yesterday from this defense, and how will it translate moving forward? That's next on Brock and Salk.
It's the Hawks Player Spotlight.
Tight end A.J. Barner is with us. How are you, man?
Doing well. It's good to be on here.
Brought to you by Three Tree Roofing.
The rookie on this O-line, Gray Zabel, is with us.
Sam is an elite quarterback.
Going deep with a different Hawks player every day at 3:30 with Wyman and Bob on Seattle Sports.
Every time he walks into the huddle, we know we got a chance for a big play.
Nick Emanwari is with us.
I felt good physically going into the game.
Catch up on every Hawks Spotlight on Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
To exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Here's the tale of the daily Medfield. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings Wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well,
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get the freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to accuse you of minutes.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello!
All right, Brock, final hour of our morning. Mike Macdonald going to join us, of course, coming up in a half hour. We'll do that at 9:30, as we always do. It's why I'm over here at Virginia Mason Athletic Center on a, former Reaction Monday. It's now an Aftermath Monday, powered by Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. And the aftermath has generally been whoever plays this defense ends up really, really upset the next day. Really sad. Really beaten and beat up, battered and abused, and just kind of licking their wounds. They are ferocious. And we keep coming up with new ways to talk about it. We spent a lot of time, and I challenged people out there to spend a few minutes telling their friends about Leonard Williams, right? Because he's as good as he is, and I still think he is the thing that makes this whole thing work. But the more I watch the team, the more impressed I am with Demarcus Lawrence. And it's not the first time I've brought it up. Brock, he has been so much better than I thought he would be.
Had no idea that he had this much left in the tank physically. Always knew he was a great player, right? The Seahawks competed against him, and in fact, that game, remember a couple years ago, down in Dallas, he kind of wrecked some of the big situations, like a 3rd down and a 4th down, and got after Geno. And I mean, you've played against him, and you've seen those unbelievably go-go gadget arms that are also just jacked beyond belief. And you're like, man, that guy is a monster. But he's just been so beat up the last couple years. And I think beat up physically, beat up mentally, beat up in that culture and that chaos of Dallas. And this has just been a breath of freaking fresh air with an Aiden Dirty that loved him, and I'm sure spoke very highly of him. And to come here and be surrounded by this level of greatness and like the pursuit of the number one seed. You are in legitimate pursuit of being the number one seed in the NFC. And in many ways control that over the next 6 weeks, getting to play the Rams again in your place as they sit atop the number one seed in all the NFC right now. And yeah, you're right, man. Did not see this. I thought you would see kind of a Cooper Kupp kind of contribution from him defensively.
Right. Yeah, he'd come in and, he wouldn't play every down. And
yep, he'd be a good pro. He wouldn't be available every game. He'd flash, he'd make some big plays, but he wouldn't be like the alpha with Leonard. Like, and he has been.
I mean, I think he's phenomenal. The second best player on the defense this year. Like, if I have to do, and look, I know that's sort of a nebulous idea, but if I'm just having, hey, who's been the best players on this defense? Number one be Leonard Williams. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Who's number two? Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy's going to be in that conversation.
866-979-3776.
Yeah, who's the second best player this year?
Second best defensive player for the Seattle Seahawks in 2020.
Byron Murphy's going to have a pretty good case to be made, I think, for that. He's been pretty awesome. Ernest Jones obviously plays a huge role. The guy. Obviously what you've gotten from, everybody's been good. But I think the second best defensive player on the team this year has been Demarcus Lawrence.
Kobe Bryant has been very, very good on the back end, but has he been better than Demarcus Lawrence?
No. Reek has had his moments, and Josh Jobe has had his moments, but I don't think you'd point to corner. Spoon has been, obviously really good, but I don't think he has made that kind of an impact game in, game out. I mean, you like what you're getting from both Boye and especially Derek Hall, but neither are playing as much nor contributing as much. Chenna is starting to work his way back into being that kind of a contributor. Jaron Reed is now hurt. I think it really just comes down to four guys. After Leonard, the three guys would be in some order: Demarcus Lawrence, Byron Murphy, and Devin Witherspoon. And if you ask me who's been second best, I think I'm going with Tank. He's been awesome.
Yeah, Byron now got 6 sacks, tied with Leonard for the team lead. Uchenna's 5.5. Who's that?
Byron Murphy. Yeah.
Yes. And doing a lot of the dirty work too, right? I mean, a lot of these things. It'll be good kind of question again for Coach Macdonald. I will say this too, Salk.
I'm not going to ask him who the second best player in his defense
No.
is. If you want to do that, that is entirely up to you. But I am not going to ask him about who's the second best player in his defense.
We know where that's going to go, but I'll tell you who has been maybe the biggest surprise with Byron Murphy, and maybe D-Laws in some of this too. Drake Thomas is a freaking baller, man. You realize he is now the second leading tackler on the team behind Ernest. So let's see. Ernest at 71. Drake is now second at 58 tackles, but he's got 3 sacks as well and more tackles for loss. Like this dude has just been. I had zero expectation. That may be good special teams player, and a good, backup to Tyrese. And could he play a game and play in some spots if he had to? And bro, he's taking that job.
Is he this year's Zach Bond?
Yes. Yeah, but Zach's got a few more physical attributes that Drake does not have. Drake's got really short arms. I think there was great concern from the personnel department. Like, is there just enough length? I know he's got great power and great leverage and great balance and all these things, but does he have enough length to do this, to shed blocks, right? So, like, arm length isn't just for tackles and edge guys. Like, you got to shock and shed. You got to get your hands off. But he's so unbelievably nifty at it and so instinctive, kind of like JSN on the other side for all of those things. But 58 tackles, double-digit tackles.
Well, there are a bunch of people texting in saying Drake Thomas should be in that consideration for being the second best player. I think he's been really good. I don't know that I can put that on him yet. I'm sorry. I think a lot of the dirty work being done in front of him helps with a lot of that. That's not to say he hasn't been good. He has been. But linebacker, a little bit more of a dependent position as opposed to a guy coming off the edge, setting the edge. What Demarcus Lawrence has done in the running game, what he does in the pass rush game. He just kind of does everything. And look, this is why, Brock, I'm flipping through this morning and I see your guy Booger Booger McFarland saying the Rams are the best team in the NFL right now, and then a moment later, the Seahawks aren't far behind them. Like, they do look like they could be 1-2 in the NFL with a few other teams thrown in there. Obviously, they're not alone or well atop the rest of the league. But it's because of this defense. The offense has some explosiveness, and they're still kind of figuring out the running game. But this defense is that good. They have that kind of domination in them. It's amazing.
Give me cut number 5, if you wouldn't, Maura, back there, or Lyle, because you played it in a Need to Know. I hit on it in Blue 88. This was Maura's takeaway, her first one, rightfully so, Salk. We can have all this conversation, but if it was only 11 guys or 13 guys like it's been in years past, you would not put the Seahawks where they are. It's because of the contributions of everybody. Here was Mike Macdonald speaking to really that number 70.
Well, yeah, it's the same message. I mean, it's a 70, and it's that feeling that we talk about throughout the year of like when guys have opportunities to go, you're excited to go see them play. Like these guys have earned opportunities to play for us in critical games, and so I was excited to see these guys play. And so it's exciting. It's great. It's not like, oh shoot, so and so's out. It's like, oh great, okay, great. Like let's go. Let's roll with Patio. Let's go.
Spoon was out a month. Jaron Reed's on IR. Julian Love's been on IR. You were down 2 linebackers yesterday. When Okada goes out and he is your backup to the backup safety with an oblique, they're trying to figure out contingency plans of like who can play safety. Like what are we going to do? I mean, is that going to be Nick and Kobe back there? If you lost another linebacker because you lost one on a kickoff, and all of a sudden, like, what are we going to? It doesn't matter.
Who do you think was going to be coming in next at linebacker if they'd had a
Jamie
problem?
Sheriff would have come up. So he was brought up because of the injuries. But
no, I mean during the game.
If you would have lost Drake or Patio, it would have been Jamie Sheriff right off the practice squad.
I don't think he could have.
He was active. No, they activated
I thought he was inactive.
No, they had to activate him, thankfully. Nope, he was on special teams. He was 100%. Okay. He was the lone guy left on the punt return on the one side of the field. He was 100% activated because when Ernest went down and Tyrese was
I wondered if we might see like Nicky Manwari just thrown in there. Like, all right, buddy, here you go. You're big enough. By the way, he might be big enough. More, do you have that sound of Spoon talking about his secondary mate, Nicky Manwari, who's just he's a monster. He has not been the second best player in the team yet.
No.
But he is unique, and he has caught the eye of Mr. Witherspoon.
I mean, he's doing everything we wanted him to do. I mean, you can't. It's really hard to describe. Like, Brett 6'4", rookie. Like, he big as like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's really nothing he can't do. So it's like our expectation for him high, and it's gonna be how long he ever be here. So.
There is something about this team, man. They don't mind dropping the occasional curse word, but they do it in a way that is very endearing. I don't know. Like, they're not like an angry, defensive, playing the card, disrespect card.
No.
They're kind of fun-loving, and when they curse like that, I just end up sort of laughing because it's kind of awesome. I don't know. They're fun.
You heard Mike say, right, when that guy cut back across the field, like, go get him. Not only is he that big, like, go get him. Yeah. Reed could chase him down. Might not tackle him. Nick's going to chase him down, and he's going to get him down because he is big and fast.
All right, Mike Macdonald's going to join us in 20 minutes, Brock. We'll go through everything you need to know one more time next, and then we'll chat with the coach and get out of here. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Bump and Stacy.
It feels important for the Seahawks to get some style points in a win on Sunday.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
This is the first game of the year where I think style points matter. Against the worst team in football, I'm looking for the run game to get going, the pass game to look good, and dominance on defense. Of course, I will take a win, but now you have higher expectations. I also think Sam needs a mental bounce-back game.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710. Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
Well, we did this a few years ago when we had Thanksgiving in Missoula, had shipped a Cajun deep-fried turkey, and it was a home run. We're doing it again in 3 days because, yes, the holidays are here. And then Christmas, well, that's right around the corner. And if you or somebody on your wish list this year want the gift of fitness, then right now you got to go check out Top Fitness Black Friday sales event. It's going on now. You don't have to wait till Friday. It is right now. All the details at topfitness.com. That's where you can see savings of up to $1,000 on Inspired gyms, Inspired treadmills, and True treadmills. How about free delivery and assembly on any Precor treadmill, elliptical, or bike? You can also save up to 50% on last year's display models, Olympic weight bars at $50, and home gym attachments and accessories. If you're looking for a good stocking stuffer, they're up to 50% off starting at just $10. No secret why everybody from personal trainers to pro athletes love my friends at Top Fitness. You can go see them in person in Tukwila, Linwood, or Bellevue, or once again, find all the details of the Top Fitness Black Friday sales event going on right now, right there online at topfitness.com. It's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
If you've been waiting to try learning a new language with Babbel, now is the time. Black Friday has come early this year. Babbel's biggest sale is happening now. Unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription at our best price of the year, which means a small investment for all your big adventures. Babbel's bite-sized lessons fit easily into your daily routine and are easy to remember. Plus, Babbel teaches you relevant words and phrases so you can start speaking with confidence in as little as 3 weeks. And with a lifetime access to all of Babbel's languages, lessons, podcasts, and cultural insights, just imagine what you can do, or rather, where you could go. So if you've been putting off booking that pastry pilgrimage to France for fear of mispronouncing croissant, take advantage of Babbel's biggest sale of the season. Where will Babbel take you? Find out at Babbel.com. But hurry, this offer ends November 30th. Get Babbel's lifetime access for less for a limited time at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
Powerhouse basketball programs UCLA and Gonzaga will renew a burgeoning rivalry when they square off in the 2025 Seattle Hoops Showdown December 13th at Climate Pledge Arena. Seattle Sports has your chance to win 2 tickets. Head to seattlesports.com/win to enter and see contest rules. That's seattlesports.com/win for your chance to win 2 tickets to see UCLA and Gonzaga in the 2025 Seattle Hoops Showdown December 13th at Climate Pledge Arena. Enter today. Contest ends November 30th.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
At
Bible Law Group, we understand what it means to be local legal representation. From shopping at the Bon Marché, picking up gear at Chubby and Tubby, crying for Joey Cora, now for Cal, grabbing a burger while JP Patches clowns by. We live here and fight for you. That's why Bible Law gives local representation to those facing legal problems too big for prayers, even if you can't pronounce Squim or Puyallup. Our legal team has secured more than $40 million in settlements for our clients. We're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, Brock, 1-0. That's what the Seahawks went this week. That was the job, and that's exactly what they went on the road and did. In Tennessee, no, they probably couldn't prove much to the league. 1-9 team, right? There's not a whole lot there to be gained other than to just go win a football game, and they did it. Would have been probably more of a blowout. They got a punt return for a touchdown against them, a lot of fourth down conversions late, which made it a little closer than it would have been, and Mike Macdonald cut 4, understood all that.
Good win. You know, it's tough coming east. 10 a.m. game for our guys. You got to give the Titans a lot of credit. They played extremely hard. I mean, their quarterback played really well. He's a really hard guy to get on the ground and extended plays, and did a great job, especially on some of those third and fourth downs. I mean, our guys were playing really hard there at the end, and I thought we showed a lot of maturity, working through all the things and how the game went. You know, you would have liked for us to be able to close the game out earlier, but you know they're fighting hard and they played hard and they returned the kick for a touchdown, and our guys showed a lot of resilience. Just keep playing.
What do you make of that word maturity?
Yeah, they have it. They've got a lot of maturity for as young as they are, being one of the younger teams just on the birth certificate. That is where a Cooper Kupp, that's where a Leonard Williams, that is where a Demarcus Lawrence. I think that is where not only those two veterans, Lawrence and Kupp, have come in, Salk contributed on the field, and Demarcus maybe in shocking, surprising ways. But there's just a professional maturity. There's an emotional intelligence. Does this team ever feel like they just get emotionally hijacked ever? Never.
No.
Good or bad, right? They don't ride that wave. That too, the pendulum has swung from the previous iteration that, you know, definitely played with a chip on their shoulder, motivated by all that discontent, and was very emotionally held captive at times. This group does not.
Well, they also have one heck of a star in Jackson Smith-Njigba. He has been their best player all season long. He breaks the franchise record yesterday for yards receiving in a season. 8 catches, 167, a couple of touchdowns. Afterwards, his quarterback was raving about him.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. Just the way that he's been able to play this year, every single game, right? It's tough, you know, to be that consistent, but I think it starts with his attitude and his prep that he puts in throughout the week. So no surprise whatsoever, but yeah, he's a really good player. And again, I think, you know, the guys that we have, you know, to complement a guy like Jax, you know, starting with the running backs, you know, the tight ends, and the other receivers, you know, there's other guys on the field that the defense has to pay attention to, and I think that can only help him out.
Seriously, man, I've said this, I don't know, 6-7 weeks ago, Salk, in one of my Blue 88s or a takeaway.
Just trolling now with the 6-7s? My God, it's just constant with you.
He really he really is a piece of all the Seahawks great receivers of the past.
Yeah.
He really is Tyler Lockett down the field. He really is Doug Baldwin off the line. He really is Steve Largent, understanding how to bust every coverage and leverage and technique. He's all of it. He really is a deep ball Darryl Turner, DK Metcalf. Like, he's got a piece of all of them, and now he's got a piece of history as the best to ever do it in the record books.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Mariner news over the week, I guess it was on Friday, that they tendered their contracts to 31 players. That's everybody in their first 6 years of being in the league, either the first 3 years where you were on league minimum or the next 3 where you were under arbitration rules. So it left 3 guys to be non-tendered: Gregory Santos, Taylor Saucedo, who'd already been DFA'd, and Trent Thornton. You know, the Santos thing, it's a bummer. Never worked out. Saucedo, I think we've talked through. And Trent Thornton, I mean, good guy, much like Saucedo, but just not enough upside. And I think you can spend that money better moving forward. It is notable, too, that they offered a contract to Randy Arozarena. I didn't think they would non-tender him and move on, but at $16, $18 million this year, there was at least a conversation relevant about what the best thing to do with that money would be. And it's still possible that they could opt to trade Randy before this offseason ends. But I think it is at least notable, worth noting, that they did decide to keep him around $16 to $18 million. Interesting trade in the division. Rangers made official today. They sent Marcus Semien to the Mets in exchange for outfielder Brandon Nimmo. They also non-tendered Adolis Garcia, who I've always loved, but really had an awful year last year, and maybe injuries have caught up with him. Nimmo, 32. Semien is 35.
Yeah, I'll have to do some digging, and maybe, Lyle, you've got a better grasp of this, but you'll see Salk in the NFL and college football. They say how the team was built in game notes, and they'll show all the different transactions. And in college, it's like, here's your freshman, your sophomore, your junior, your seniors, right? Your transfers, your junior college guys. And in the NFL, it's, these guys were drafted in this year. It really did strike me, seeing that list, as they showed the whole roster of Mariners, how few long-term extension guys they have. And the ones they have are young, right? Naylor's in his 20s. Cal's in his 20s. Julio's in his 20s. That, outside of Luis and Robles, like in those, and JP, who are all, by the way, 2 of those 3 in the final year of their deals. I mean, it was just yet again, in your face how young and how much upside this team in the organization still has ahead of them.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Let's see. Kraken get 3 out of a possible 4 points this weekend as they played back-to-back, first in Pittsburgh, then on Long Island. They get the overtime winner from Brandon Montour on Saturday, lose 1-0 in a shootout yesterday. Huskies, 2 on the ground, 2 through the air. Damon Williams was awesome yesterday as they win in the Rose Bowl. Jed Fish on his team.
From the very beginning, I thought our defense played outstanding. They were aggressive. They were physical. They went after the ball. Really proud of those guys, the way they played. Love how they took the ball away. We missed a few things early that we had great opportunities at to really put the score ahead of be up a few touchdowns early on in the game. But we got to 20-0 with Alex's play, and I think in the second half the offense clicked pretty well.
And they have been good defensively this year, so that's been an area of real growth over the course of the season. First-year defensive coordinator there. Again, you just kind of kick yourself a little bit. Had you just gone to Wisconsin? Now, Wisconsin had a nice win this last weekend, and they've kind of turned the corner here after giving a approval year for Fickell to come back next year. But man, if you won that game and you're sitting here at 9-2 with Oregon coming in on Saturday, with the playoffs still on the line, you'd be having a little different conversations than this. And this is a step forward. I mean, 8 wins is an absolute step forward. That was my number, to go from 6 last year to 8 or 9 this year, and that's absolutely still on the table for them.
All right, that's everything you need to know. 1/4 to every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. Lyle, what's your potential Mariners-Red Sox trade? What's their trade that you're looking at?
Oh, what?
Oh, we were just talking about Jarren Duran and Wilyer Abreu.
I don't think that's going to happen, but that's kind of fun. I like.
We were talking about it.
I mean, I like talking about it. All right, we might have to explore that another day. Mike Macdonald is going to join us here.
Well, we were talking about it.
Yeah,
all
right. I just wasn't sure whether it
was
something I needed to know about. That's all. Mike Macdonald's next, Brock. A nice win, a needed win. Get the team going back in the right direction. What happened? Why did it happen? And what happens next? We'll chat with the coach next on Brock and Salk.
Bump and Stacy.
It feels important for the Seahawks to get some style points in a win on Sunday.
Weekdays 10-2.
This is the first game of the year where I think style points matter. Against the worst team in football, I'm looking for the run game to get going, the pass game to look good, and dominance on defense. Of course, I will take a win, but now you have higher expectations. I also think Sam needs a mental bounce-back game.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710. Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
Yeah, financial decisions are so difficult, and I am certainly not an expert in that field. And so because I want to retire one day and I'd like to be able to travel and have a lot of fun, and because my kids are costing me a lot of money right now, I need help. And that's why you talk to Trajan Wealth. If maybe you have an old 401k with a previous employer, Did you know that that could create a higher investment cost? Well, if you've got it, you're not sure what to do with it, call Trajan Wealth today. They can discuss how to optimize those funds and get that money actually working for you again. That's right. You, individual. That is such a key word with Trajan Wealth. They're looking at your individual plan. Call them today at 206-466-3300. Set up just a complimentary introductory meeting and learn more about what they can offer. Again, 206-466-3300 or go to TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for Refractive Lens Exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Gonna let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
The best time of the year is here, Toyotathon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyotathon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyotathon, people. Come on.
O'Brien.
Bonneville, Seattle, and Seattle Sports are looking for organizations that regularly distribute information about employment opportunities to job applicants or have job applicants to refer. If your organization would like to receive notifications of job vacancies, please notify Human Resources at 1820 Eastlake Avenue East, Seattle, Washington 98102, or email us at seattlealljobs@bonneville.com or call 206-726-6902. Bonneville is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Mike Macdonald Show, presented by your local 76 and Conoco stations, exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach, another win yesterday. Thanks for coming in this morning and chatting about it. What impressed you yesterday? What impressed you with your team?
Wow, a few things. Just finished watching the tape here about an hour ago. I'll tell you what, our guys played really hard. You had a feeling, it's tough. It was a noon game. It's kind of a weird time because it's central. You're traveling. It's a long, we can't take these travel days for granted. It's a pretty big undertaking and it takes a lot for the guys to get going. And I thought the guys played hard. I didn't think we weren't sluggish. The guys are trying their tails off, and we fought, and we did a lot of good things. I think in each a little bit more individually, and there's some really great. I think we're going to show the team today. There's some great series of events that are really complementary and that let us step on the gas. And then there's some series of events that weren't as complementary, and we're acting a little bit independent of one another. And I think that's how you end up with the score that ended up being. So, and it's a tribute to the Titans too. I mean, they kept battling, and the quarterback made a lot of plays down the stretch where some off-schedule plays that he made some throws, and so they deserve some credit too.
I've heard scouts use the term, Mike, stopping power when it comes to tackling as a safety, as a linebacker. When this guy hits, does what he hit from an inertia standpoint stop and then go backwards? Man, it felt like yesterday, whether it was Drake, whether it was Ty, whether it was Patio, whether it was D-Law, man, there were half dozen double-digit numbers where it was just hit, and that thing absolutely stops and goes backwards. How do you evaluate that? Do you look at that in that term of stopping power, or is it a measurement that you guys use?
Well, it's a great point. I thought our guys tackled really well yesterday, even in space. I mean, I know we missed the one on fourth down, but Reek had some other ones that were in open field that he made some good plays as well. So obviously we want to make that play, but you're right. We take a lot of pride in we want runners going backwards. On offensively, we want to finish going forwards. Defensively, we want runners going backwards. And normally it takes more than one guy, so that is really like a 12-1 type of idea of let's get to the ball, let's knock it back. And we knew this. We had a really good feeling going into the game that it was going to be an eat game, really in all three phases. So when we talk about eat, it's really how you finish plays. A lot of those hidden yardages that we needed to go in our favor. And defensively, we did that a good bit to get them to second and long. Offensively, I thought we finished runs going forward, which is a positive. There's a couple we got to get cleaned up. And special teams, I thought we played a great game up in exception for the punt return. You can't live like that. You can't live with, living in the exception world. But so overall, I thought it was positive. But you're also leaving it saying, hey, look, we got to play better in some of these other areas.
We got a ton of questions about your team that we'll get to in a moment. But it's twice now I've heard you talk about Cam Ward, and it sounds like you were pretty impressed with what you saw.
I was,
talking about him all morning.
I was. Yeah, I was. He's slippery. There's a strength and a slipperiness to his game, and he's a hard, tough guy to get on the ground. Going into the game, they were taking a lot of sacks, and I thought you keep seeing him improve, I guess is my point. And so it's, hats off to him, and he'll continue to get improvement. And the arm talent is there. I mean, he's threw a couple balls in some windows where we don't normally see, and was able to move the sticks that way. So we gotta get cleaned up on that front. But
it's interesting. So I didn't mention McNair, but having played McNair a couple times back in the day in the division with him, there is just a sturdiness to him, and then that elusiveness. You're like, man, he shouldn't be able to get out of D-Lot's grip or some of these guys, but he did. Hey, can you tell me what EAT is? EAT an acronym as well? When you said this was an EAT game, or is that?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, it all started with effort, ankles, and tackling, and then we moved it to offense, and then we actually CP is really the guy. Chris Parcher is really the guy who came up with it. And we actually came up this week. We're like, hey, what does the A stand for? And CP's like, I don't even remember. It's just a way. It's just a way of life. It's just how we operate. So it's really just our kind of our just rallying cry of how we want to finish plays as a team, and having respect for the game that like the hidden yardage stuff matters. How you finish plays on the sideline, how you finish tackles, how you finish on the right angles of blocks and where the ball is, and how you split double teams. All those things, that adds up. There's a huge difference in our league between 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6. It's a huge difference. So, we understand that those things add up over the course of a game.
Effort.
Did I answer that? Or is black out there?
Yeah, both.
Hey, I wasn't going to ask you about this, but it does lead to this, and I don't want to get you fined. So, so please don't get fined on this. But is there ever going to be a hip drop tackle called? Like when JSN, I think, broke the record, actually, that reception that ended up breaking the record, and it's hard to tackle guys, and he's really hard with his center of gravity. But if there was ever a textbook, I'm going to go high, I'm going to drop down, I'm going to go right to the ankle. Like, is that just out the window now? Is that not something that's ever going to be called in the game?
I think it is one of the penalties. One, I think it's hard to call in real time because there's a lot of criteria that goes to it. So a lot of the way that the league has been enforcing it is through fines. That's how it's been showing up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So
that makes some sense.
I'm not going to.
So even fines for plays that aren't called on the field.
Yeah. I mean, it happens all the time. It's just, it's the way it goes, as they review the tape and all that type of stuff. But, and I honestly, Brock, I didn't watch it through that lens of seeing, like, did he hit all 3 criteria of the hip drop? It didn't look great by any stretch, but sometimes there's some tackles that look really bad that by the letter of the law aren't illegal, so
Gotcha.
I can't tell you whether that hit all the criteria or not, but it will probably be a play that we turn in and want to get some clarification, so we'll see.
I'm going to ask you in advance for a little grace on this question because I'm not entirely sure how to ask it. And it's a little outside of what we're capable of knowing from our position, but it has to do with some of the personality of this team. We're not in the locker room every day. We don't get a chance to know them the way you do. It strikes me, and Brock and I have talked about it a little bit over the last few weeks, that from the outside they seem almost fun-loving. There seems to be a joy that they play with. Some teams play the disrespect card all the time and are angry and tough guys and emotional. And this team seems, at least from the outside, to be almost fun-loving. Is that a fair description of them?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I understand I get this similar feeling from the guys. And it's funny when we were like describing what we want our team to be, like fun. Like they kept asking me, like, what about fun? Like, what does fun mean? And I'm like, nah, it's not fun. They're just like, we're not having fun. We're working it. But it's like, you think about it, you're like, well, having fun is like doing the process with the guys, with your boys, like, and then it's like doing high powered stuff and realizing like how it all plays off one another and understanding like the power of that. And, to me, that's fun. It's not just like fun and games. It's just like it's doing some great stuff with the guys that you have a lot of respect for and you love, and you're trying to do something really special together. Like that, to me, that's fun. But our guys have been like the spirit we're trying to create of like loose and focused. I think is definitely on its way. I mean, the guys are shadow boxing all the time. I mean, they're having a great time, and then laughing, and competing, and doing all just enjoying each other's company. But then when it's time to, do what we need to do to, get our work done, they do a great job of kind of clicking in, and then we knock it out. And it's not like, okay, hey, it's time to work, and all of a sudden we're like super. It's just now we're back to focus. We're trying to get something done, and let's keep it moving forward, which is really cool. If you play the emotion card, like to me, it's like how many times can you play that card? It kind of goes against our, what we're trying. Every time we go out on the field, we're trying to uphold a certain standard type of philosophy rather than like, okay, like with this game, we're going to be emotional. With this game, we're not, or this is a practice where we can take it easy. Or this is just a walkthrough. Like it lends itself to some of that thinking, which you're trying to eliminate.
We know you were a dual sport star in high school. We saw your swings there at T-Mobile at batting practice. I said to Salk earlier in the show that now every time Sam lets the ball go and it's JSN on the other end, it feels like Cal Raleigh. Every time Cal Raleigh hit the ball in the air, you're like, oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to end well. Do you find yourself knowing the play call that's coming in and seeing the different looks? And if you get a one-on-one and the minute Sam releases it, are you finding yourself with that same, I'll play that fun card again? Or kind of what goes through your mind as that ball's in the air heading 11's way?
Well, I wish I would be a little bit more on it, a little more frequently, sometimes I'm thinking about what's going on next on defense. So sometimes my mind's in it, like what's going right there in those plays. Sometimes I'm locked into exactly what the offense is doing, just to be 100% honest.
Yeah.
But when it does, like we had the touchdown to Jax in the end zone. That was a hairy thing that Sam did a great job of getting us lined up. We were behind on the play count or the play clock. The earlier explosive to Jax was cool. You see how the play kind of comes together, and you understand that his protection takes a lot of time to let him get down the field. So how the protection holds up, all that type of stuff. What are they doing on defense? I was trying to call out in my mind what Denard was calling, because there's a lot of similar stuff. So there's a lot going on in your mind, I guess is what I'm getting at. But yeah, it's exciting.
Brock and I were talking about him earlier, unsurprisingly, given the record and given the game he had yesterday. And Brock was sort of referring to him as almost a quiet wide receiver, not on the field, not with his play, but compared to a lot of the top wide receivers in the game who can be noisy, who can be demanding, who want the ball, who can just be a challenge at times for the team around him to deal with. How valuable is it to have a guy who's a number one wide receiver that doesn't create a lot of extra noise?
Look, I mean, I don't want the answer to say that it discounts Jax's competitiveness. So, by all accounts, he is really at every level that he's been at. What all of his teammates and all of his coaches have said is this guy is just an absolute dog, and how he competes. And I felt that at Michigan when we played him, and then we felt it since we walked in the door. I mean, what are the stats in that Ohio State game? I mean, he must have gone for one. What was it like? Can somebody look that up quickly? It's 150.
The Rose Bowl game?
No, in the snow game in 21.
Ohio State, Michigan.
I mean,
Lyle will get right on.
He caught a lot of balls for a lot of yards. Let's put it that way, and some high leverage situations too. But look, I can just speak to Jax and the type of guy he is. He's just, I think he's very determined to become the player that he's becoming, which is really great. And talk about having a player that has a vision for himself that's aligned with the way the organization sees him, which is really cool. Shows you the power behind that, and the power of being a great teammate too. I'm thinking of you're talking in Cooper Kupp. This guy is Hall of Fame receiver who's a Triple Crown winner, and what he's poured into Jax as well, to try to build his teammates up. I mean, that's really cool. I think that rubs off on the rest of the team, including Jax. And then, and it just shows you the type of guy he is. He's just a great dude. He's a great dude that's really competitive, and he loves his team. He loves his teammates, and he wants to win. And one of the best ways for us to win is to get him the ball as many times as we can. But it's also, to have success on offense and play complementary, football and all three. All that type of stuff matters. And so he's bought in on all that, which is awesome. It shows a great example for the rest of the guys.
Okay, so what's your guess? We got the numbers. I know you football guys. You never forget some of these things. What's your guess in that?
Okay, I'm going to say I want to either say it was 9 or 11 catches for 143.
Close. 11 for 127.
That's pretty good.
Yep, you're right there. That was in the
It's
snow.
only 4 years ago.
Yeah, by the way, in the snow in that game, but you never forget. That went the way of the Wolverines, I believe, though, did it not?
Yeah, we won despite
yes, you did.
Him not being covered.
Hey,
right,
I'm
going to ask you about a guy that I've never asked about before, Jason Myers, and not about his field goals.
The kickoffs.
We got to talk about the kickoffs.
Yeah.
So we were almost comparing it to a golf deal where you now with the kickoffs have to have some distance control in terms of how deep you're kicking the ball and trying to get it to land in this landing area.
Right.
What has made him so effective at it?
Well, he's a really talented guy, and then it takes a lot of work to do. It looks simple in what he's doing, but to your point, it's very measured in how long the ball is going, and the direction where it's going. How he's hitting the ball is also a really, really cool skill. And I haven't talked to Jay about it, but it does feel like he made the adjustment, they were catching some of those dirty balls on the fly, further down the field, and he made an adjustment. So okay, now we're going to kick it to the back end line. And that really helped us. and it's such a high leverage play now is the kickoff. I mean, teams are scoring touchdowns. If you screw it up, they could get the ball, at the 40-yard line or at the 35. And if you do it right, you're starting drives at the 20, 25-yard line, and that's a tremendous. I mean, we're talking about, nerd out. It's expected points, but like if you start a drive at let's just say you start a drive at the 25 versus the 35, that's basically like a point. It's like 1 point for the Seahawks. So like the one that the guy dropped out of bounds. I haven't seen what the expected points on there, but it's probably around 1.5 to 2 points for us, and just in one play. So that's some big time stuff that really helps us.
All right, we can nerd out a little more because I enjoyed some of the football conversation last week. We talk about simulated pressures. You'll hear analysts talking about that, broadcasters talking about all of these different simulated pressures. Mike, years ago, I did a Rocky Long, the old disciple of the double eagle, and Rocky and then his tree, like their guys would find, and one of the guys, I said, frankly, how many different ways can you get to double eagle at the snap? And he said, we figured 42, somewhere between like 42 and 44 different iterations with all their personnel that on the snap, you kind of get to that front that they want to get to, right?
Yep.
When it comes to your simulated pressures, have you ever counted how many of them you've got in your voluminous playbook?
I'm going to disappoint you guys. We do not run a lot of simulated pressures.
Oh,
People say we do, but we really don't. We have them.
So what do you call them? What do you, or how do you?
No, that's what we call them. If we bring one, drop one, bring two, drop two. Like the way we define simulated pressures is like you're rushing four. You're just bringing an unaccounted for guy and dropping an accounted for guy.
Yep.
But we just don't run a lot. I think we called 4 yesterday, and none of them worked. So,
well, you kind of got 4 other dudes that are pretty good at getting quarterbacks.
We got to execute them better, and I got to not call them in crappy situations. So three of those are on me, and I'd say one of them are on us. But we have them, Brock, and it's a great tool. It's a great tool, and Tennessee ran it. A few of them yesterday that were good for them. But we just don't do it. We put a lot of guys on line of scrimmage and to try to manipulate protections and set up other pressures, which is probably what people are talking about. Like we put 5 on the line and drop a guy, but a lot of the times it is like the off the ball player that is the guy dropping.
What do you call that if it's not a simulated pressure?
Just a 4-man rush.
Just a 4-man rush, but with a complication,
we call it with some sauce,
Some sauce.
Put some sauce on it.
All right. A little sauce.
So between simulations and sauce, you can present quite a few different looks to a rookie
so that's cool because like for us, it's what we try to do. We try to make some simple things look more complicated to our opponent, and to our guys' credit, they can make that come to life pretty simply.
I love your quote after the game last night, talking about the depth on the team and some of the guys who have stepped in, and you said you were, quote, excited to see them play.
Yeah.
I mean, where does that come from? A true excitement to see the next guy up actually come in and play the game?
Well, it comes from seeing it in practice. It's really that simple. This is something that is really important to us here and we've had this, it kind of like clicked, earlier in my career, like you see, when young guys get a chance and you're sometimes like, oh crap, so-and-so's got to play, or like that's a huge difference than, oh, so-and-so gets to play, that's what we want it to feel like. And that's how, and so that's critical to building depth. I mean, all those things, but one of the things that I think that's important in our league is you have to get great reps and stack those over the course of the spring and the summer. Otherwise, guys don't develop as much. If you're just running card team looks all day and you're just stacking non-significant reps, well, you're not getting any better. So, some people are like, well, you can't take that many reps throughout the season. Well, yeah, what kind of reps, and who's taking the reps? Is it young? Like there's time and a place for young guys to get reps, and it allows them to. And how do you structure your scout team? Like, do you let them go play football, or do you put them in a box and tell them to go bang their head against the wall, or jump double moves and that kind of crap, which we don't subscribe to that theory. We want our guys to go play and compete and take care of one another, but they're working on their game as well. And a lot of times we want them to running our calls. So, but it's coming from practice. Like Patty O is just a guy that we have an ongoing joke here is like, when we're going to block him, he's the mic. We got to block the mic.
It's pretty good.
Hilarious
Stop
joke.
that kind of
That's
quick.
a really funny joke.
What, patio? No.
It's a running joke. We've got to block the mic.
Yeah, it's just like you're showing tapes like, hey, we got to block the guy in the middle right there.
Yes, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He was pretty good yesterday. Hey, I got a fun perception reality. We have Thanksgiving this week. So I have one Thanksgiving question. So you may have injury questions. Good luck on those. But I have one perception reality question. And that is when you grew up in the Northeast and down in Georgia and you coached in the Northeast and in Michigan and you looked from a perception from afar at the Seattle football fan, these 12s. And maybe you watched games and certainly you played the Seahawks or whatever that came to you. But like just growing up and you had this perception in football of like, okay, this is who the 12s are. And then the reality of living it as the head coach for the last year and a half plus, Mike. What's the perception versus the reality?
Well, I made a mistake. I asked Dave, and Dave did remind me, so I dropped the ball on this. But like I wanted to lead yesterday's press conference. I wanted to lead this thing, and so I'm going to lead today's later press conference with a shout out to our 12s because that was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. Them traveling from all over everyone that I must have had multiple people tell me that the people were coming from Arizona and the plane was filled with 12s. That's crazy, right? Like. John was saying that his plane, they came down early to scout. Their whole plane was filled with 12s, and they're like, they're going Seahawks, on the plane on the way to Nashville. I mean, I've never heard anything like that before, and they were incredible yesterday. Just came out in waves. I mean, we almost anticipated them having to be on the silent count on offense. They didn't have to be, but I mean, what an absolute! I mean, it's just incredible showing by the 12s, man. So just so much respect. Thank you. That was big time. That was awesome. And our guys loved it. They were talking about it. So that was really cool. But perception, Brock, is like, look, we don't want to go over there. We don't want to go to Seattle. Like, why do we don't, and that's because of the environment that they create. So, and then reality is it's real, it's real. And they're hungry for a great team and for a team that I think brings energy and is representative of the things that are important to them. Sticking together and being tough, resilient, and playing great defense, which is what we're trying to do.
Between hungry and eat, you've kind of led perfectly, like a radio host to Thanksgiving. Top three,
oh, yeah, definitely
top three items on the Thanksgiving table. Top three have-tos.
It is stuffing, by the way. It's not dressing.
Dressing. Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Yeah, stuffing. Okay. And then just pie, got to have all the different types. Pecan, it's pecan, not pecan. Pecan pie. There's a spot for pumpkin pie. Apple pie, definitely with ice cream. Probably shows you where my priorities lie, which is not a good thing.
Carb guy.
Somewhere Spoon is listening to this and he's going to give me crap later because I enjoy ice cream on Saturday night. But turkey's okay. Ham, not as okay.
No.
You ever put the cheddar cheese on apple pie?
No.
It's like a New Hampshire, Vermont thing.
Yeah, it's definitely not a Boston thing.
You never tried that?
No.
All right.
What else is there? I'm not stuffing's by far and away the best.
Yeah, you got to simulate some of those things on the table, Brock. Just some simulated sides.
Yeah,
this year
you got to take one side and put one side on, take one side off.
Right. There you go. Coach, congrats. Nice win. Home game finally this week, which is nice after a couple on the road. You get to see Sam's old team, which should be fun as well as the Vikings come to town. Have a good Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you next Monday.
All right, you two guys. Thanks.
All right, there you go. There goes Coach Macdonald. Brock will get out of here as well. 6 a.m. as always tomorrow. Until then, the hay
is in the barn.
See you, everybody.
Get to the chopper!
4 Down Territory. Michael Bumpus answers the top 4 football questions of the day.
What do you want to see continue from the Seahawks offense?
Just find different ways to get Shaheed the football. All right, we're done with, okay, let's ease you into this whole situation. They brought you here to go over the top and be explosive in the reverse and in the return game. I think you keep running that jet sweep look too as well, man. You get the offense flowing on one side.
Catch every 4 Down Territory on the Seattle Sports app.
This is your Seahawks intervention.
I don't have a problem.
David, you painted the entire house action green.
So?
You wanted to name our daughter the 12s. Listen, download the Fuel Forward app. Every 8+ gallon fill up at 76 and Conoco stations gives you a chance to win a VIP game day experience.
I can fuel my car and my Seahawks obsession?
In moderation, David. In moderation. Terms and conditions apply. See official rules at 76.com/Seahawks-rules.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
The best time of the year is here. Toyota-thon. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are providing you with the largest savings and the widest selection of inventory on Toyota favorites like Tacomas and Tundras, the Gas RAV4, the Hybrid RAV4, and the Hybrid Camry. It's Toyota-thon at TOK and TOR. That's ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Get a test drive, meet the wonderful staff, get a new car. It's Toyota-thon, people. Come on.
O'Brien. Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
If you've been waiting to try learning a new language with Babbel, now is the time. Black Friday has come early this year. Babbel's biggest sale is happening now. Unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription at our best price of the year, which means a small investment for all your big adventures. Babbel's bite-sized lessons fit easily into your daily routine and are easy to remember. Plus, Babbel teaches you relevant words and phrases so you can start speaking with confidence in as little as 3 weeks. And with a lifetime access to all of Babbel's languages, lessons, podcasts, and cultural insights, just imagine what you can do, or rather, where you could go. So if you've been putting off booking that pastry pilgrimage to France for fear of mispronouncing croissant, take advantage of Babbel's biggest sale of the season. Where will Babbel take you? Find out at Babbel.com. But hurry, this offer ends November 30th. Get Babbel's lifetime access for less for a limited time at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. over 120,000